Hark my asshole roar. If you like that, let me know. I got one that's bigger than
I came on her shoulder. I got party voice today.
So did you have a big one down here? Until what time?
They closed us down at 10 o'clock. But like it started before dark.
Yeah, right. Were you hammered?
Not that much. I sweated out every beer that was handed to me. All free surfers in the water, please.
Best of the best.
All-world champion, so much history. Hey, it's gonna be good.
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
O pai diz preservativo. A mãe diz pílula. Eu digo surpresa. O punk diz anarquia. O pop diz beat it. Eu digo let it be. Uns dizem isto, outros dizem aquilo. Eu digo Arona. Novo Seat Arona. Do your thing.
Good morning and welcome to finals day, beautiful San Miguel Island. We're at the beach of Santa Barbara for the Azores Airlines World Masters Finals. I'm Paul Evans, joining me in the booth. Ben Way, morning mate.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
Really, really good. Swells jumped up from yesterday. We've got 3 huge finals. We're going to be crowning some world champs down here this morning.
Yeah, there's some exciting stuff. We got to take a little taste out there and definitely maybe another foot on what we had yesterday, I think. And we have the incoming tide. So we should have some great conditions for these guys. They get 5 extra minutes on their previous heats, 35 minutes to go search around with 2 surfers. Should be plenty.
Okay, so talking about running order, we've got the Grandmasters, the Grand Wizards coming up first, over 55s. Bain versus Haran. I'm going to go to the Ladies Masters. I'm going to say Layne Beachley, taking Rochelle Ballard in that final. And then, of course, the Masters final, Macaulay against Basher. Wow.
Can you believe it's all coming to an end today? This week just went blowing by. We've had so much fun during the day, during the night, and we've had waves for the entire event. And this is where we've had it. This is that little corner pocket, just the catcher's mitt for swell here. And we are going to see some of the highlights of what we've had. What we've had going in the last few days here. Some amazing action. And we're going to see this guy out in the water. Well, he's right there right now. We're going to see him taking on Shane Haran. And so Rob Bain has seen the winner's seat. And Jake Patterson surprising us, bowing out of this one. He was the dominating competitor for the first half of this competition.
Mac has just been deadly through all his heats. Big upset to Cal State. Fabio lit this place up with his smooth style. Still got his technique totally on point. Throwing down big scores throughout the event as well. He's put on a show here, Ben.
He put on a show last night with his breakdancing moves. Him and Pauline Metzger have some skills, and he was tuning up his springs all night long, so I figure we're going to see some high-flying action from him. He won his heat in the expression session round with a backside air reverse, and so definitely surfing half his age out there, and we're going to see some amazing action. Layne Beachley just turning it up. We're going to see her go up against Rochelle, Ballard, and so tons of fun down here. Everyone's having a great time in and out of the water. Beautiful weather, amazing waves. And a lot of these drone shots are all new to us. They must have had their secret file, their secret stash of clips, and we're getting to check it out now. Shane Beshin, he was acting lively, little finger flip. And so, Paul Evans, who's your money on in this first one?
It's hard to look past Bainey, isn't it? The way he's been surfing, the way he's been competing as well. Does have that kind of intensity in his face, even as he's coming into his manoeuvres. You can see how much he wants it. And the desire very much still there. He's giving us some really good insights as well in the interviews. Just kind of breaking it all down. What it's like being out here, rekindling some of those competitive desires. There he is on his screen. He's going to be taking on Shane Horan, who Shane as well has just been looking really good all week, super confident. Let's see who draws first blood here. They're getting close to each other, which we like. Got a great little paddle battle.
Spicy off the first couple seconds of this one, and well, Shane Horan's definitely been showing a little bit more of the cosmic connectivity, if you will. So we have kind of two different auras floating around out there, and well, neither of them got into that one. It is a little bit tricky. We still have that side wedge coming through, and just as you think you're in it, you're on the opposite side of the wedge, and everything just goes flat on you. So you got to be a little bit in front of it, and I think we're going to see it get even stronger as that tide moves in.
Yeah, quite sort of similar in stature, these two. Some of our matchups seeing a bit of a contrast. These two looking pretty similar. Of course, one on the backhand attack, Horan, if it's on these lefts, Bainey using his forehand really well on these long lefts. And Shane Horan's been doing those little whipping arcs in the pocket, those little hacks into the lip. Been racking up some good scores throughout the week out here in the Azores. It's 10 a.m. local time, and once again, beautiful sunny skies. Offshore winds, really light offshores this morning, just puffing.
Didn't the water feel warmer today?
Felt really nice, mate. And kind of low tide, was mid tide coming up, but haven't really got to deal with any of that backwash or anything like that. Hopefully it'll stay like that, so lots of opportunity for these guys to get plenty of waves. And just while we're waiting for our first wave, Rindananga, we're going to go down to Chris Binns, who's standing by with our contest director.
I am standing by with our contest director, Rodrigo Heredia. How are you, mate?
Morning.
And run us through the conditions we've got on offer this morning for the finals of the Azores Airlines World Masters.
It's a great day. It's a little bit smaller than we expect. It was supposed to be like 3-4 foot, but the swell is too west, so we can see the lines crossing the beach and not coming straight to the beach. But still some waves, and a great day, no wind, and that's what we have, so we need to finish the 3 finals.
And give us a tip for each of the final.
It depends. It's as I said, the swell is different today. I think there will be more rights surfing. No, you don't have the wedges working, so...
Come on, get off the fence. Tell us who you think is going to win each of the finals.
Masters, Shane for me. Layne. And then Grandmasters, maybe Rob.
All right, there you go. Thanks for finally making a decision on that one, mate. It's been awesome having you put this event on for us. Everyone's loved the Azores, so here's hoping we come back for years to come.
Thank you. Next year will be a QS again, but it was a great honor and pleasure to have all these guys surfing here in the Azores for the first time, maybe for the last time as well. So for us, it was really good to see a celebration of the world surfing with all the legends in the Azores. and with a great week offshore, good weather. So I think it was the best offer we can give to all these guys as well. So it was a great week.
Some of the goats of the sport. All right, Rodrigo Herrera, back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, let's go back to live action. It's Bainey on the forehand, working over a left-hander, just flying down the line, ripped a couple of lippers, just tagging it through. So opening up with that left, he's been favoured. Here he is on the replay from the beginning. Straight to the lip. And he kind of floats it up. Just gets one little redirection.
Did he grab the rail on that one?
Let's have a look at another angle here, Ben.
Oh, no. And so here we are getting things started. We're going to see the first score. And so, yes, we have an extra 5 minutes on the heats today. So we're still 45 seconds from the amount of time that they've had in those previous days, which has been plenty to rack up some rides. We've had heats with 8-9 waves ridden, and that's with these guys kind of taking their time. And so we should see a lot of scores coming in. I think we're going to see things bounce around a lot in this heat.
Yeah, and we got around on the inside. We're going to get scored for him too. Just a quick throwaway. There it is. So scores coming into 4 for Rob Bain. Just a throwaway of a 0.77 for Shane Horan. This is what he did. Goes to the backhand option, favouring these lefts early on, and just can't find anything to really manoeuvre on. So just a quick in and out for Shane Horan. They're both back in the line of Bain with that priority. Saw that little paddle battle earlier. It was always going to be interesting to see how this went down in terms of the sort of ferociousness of the encounter.
It's looking spicier than ever, and Bain's got priority. You saw him just giving him stink eye right there, just getting on his heels. And one thing I did notice this morning as
nicely done. Here goes Bainey going down the line. He's got a good looking face here. And he'll go into the lip and get some nice release as well. We saw Shane Horan making hand signals up. And he's been doing that a lot this week, kind of communicating to the judges up in the tower. I think he was communicating to the priority judge there. Look, he's lost priority. But he did lose it, of course, because he stood up and surfed away. Let's wait for that score to come in, as we will see Horan out the back, late takeoff. And just dropping down, trying to square off the bottom. And he'll go into the lip, kind of release and tail, but not really riding out of that one. So it's definitely going to be advantage Bain early on. He got the better of that exchange as well. Here's the drone shot of this wave, a cleaner wave than his previous effort. Had to wait a little while to find some lip, and he got a really good turn there. Just kind of used the power of the wave to kind of project down.
That was like, my dog ate my homework. I mean, like, that was some fun stuff. That was like,
oh, that time was sick.
Who ate the whole wheel of cheese? He did. And so here we go. Shane Horan getting himself a little bit frazzled right there. And you can see he still kind of hadn't gotten back into his groove as he took off for that one. I like him going for the backside fin blow, though. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more coming from him.
All right, we're going to go down to Binsey again and hear from one of our legends. He's standing by with Elko.
Yep, I'm indeed down here with the one and only Gary Elkinen. Elko, loving your time in the Azores?
Yeah, mate, it's been fantastic. I mean, you know, obviously I didn't get the results that I wanted, but just having it all happen again and being around all our old buddies here has been phenomenal. Especially seeing the women surfing, how good they've been surfing, has been awesome as well.
And in the water right now, we got Bain and Shane. You got a tip?
I think Bainey might get it just from the age, you know, but who knows? You know, Shane's been having some good heats, and we're all excited to be up here watching it, that's for sure.
And are you eyeing off your potential opponents next year?
No, I haven't started that yet. I'm going to take it very easy. I'm just getting my head around, you know, that the Masters is back on again, and you know, thanks to Azores Airlines and everyone else that's helped out to put on the event to get us back in the show. It's been great.
And just great catching up with everyone. Look, you're all here for the finals, no need to be, but you would never miss it.
Yeah, no, listen, it's like I said, we probably won't get to see each other again till the next Masters, because that's basically what's happened. And so, yeah, I've just been great, just rekindling with everyone, and some of the old stories that have come out about what used to happen on tour back in the 80s and 90s is pretty rad, and it's good, yeah.
And D-Mac and Shane, got a tip there?
Say that one again.
Dave McCauley and Shane Beshan in the final of the Masters.
I just lost it. God, I can't believe Dave McCauley. Well, Dave McCauley was in the final in Ireland when I won the World Masters, and he's there again, and that's going to be a close one. I don't know. Somebody asked to put some money down, and I couldn't quite do it.
And then obviously you'd like to see Layne bring it home for the Australians in the women's.
I think it'd be an honour for her to bring that home for the first, women's World Masters champion. And I know she's really fired up for it. I've been watching her through the event, and she's been on fire.
Awesome. Well, we've loved having all you guys in town, and hopefully we do this for a long time to come.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Unreal. Awesome.
All right, back up to you in the box.
Thank you, Christopher. Well done, Gary. Yeah, the Bundoora and the Masters up in Ireland. Remember, Elko's left the shorts up there. It's freezing.
Yeah, Kong is he's getting ready for a boat trip right after this, so he is. All right, this was during the interview. Here we go. Shane getting a little bit better of a runner here. Gets a quick hit on that one. Taps that section. Navigating over some warbles here and see what we can get on the end section. Relinks up with that wedge energy. And that's going to be his best ride of the heat, I think. Not seeing the score come up there. So far, we got a 0.93 and a 0.77 for Shane Horan.
Blue lines at Praia Santa Barbara. At the moment, surfer in red, Rob Bain. The junior surfer, in terms of years of these two. With the advantage at the moment on the scoreboard. A 133 came for that one turn he did up in the lip.
Yeah, our scoreboard just froze because it's still on 26.02 left. And you guys have the better half of the information here. 24 minutes and 43 seconds. And we're still working on that score for Shane. And here we are. We're back in action here. We're going to have that third score. He was needing a 4.40 to turn it around. He gets a 4.83, so Shane Horan goes to the lead.
All right, there it is. So, just firing up in this one. We were expecting a hotly contested affair. And Shane just getting into this. First couple of exchanges. Bainey certainly got the better of him. There he is for that last wave, 4.83. He's coming to the party now, and he'll be bang up for this. We'll be buoyed with news that he's got one reasonable score and looking to go much, much better. Plenty of time, just under that 24-minute mark.
Shane Horan's been so positive and groovy throughout this heat. I mean, throughout this competition. Today, he's sending out a little different frequency. He means business. He's hungry for the money, it seems like. Right now, 23 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Shane Horan just bumped himself up to the lead.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the skateboard chat.
That was
talking
pretty cool.
It was the classic backhanded compliment. They're like, what about you and Noob? It's like, yeah, Bainey was like, I was doing airs and stuff. Bainey was more like doing wheelies.
You think they're still holding a grudge from those days? Like, someone outperformed each other at the shopping mall exhibition and pulled the cutest girl, and they both wanted her, and they're still holding that. I don't know. We'll see. 23 minutes right now, and yep. Longtime skateboarding team members, Rob Bain and Shane Horan. So what he was saying was Shane Horan was more of the freestylish style, and Shane Horan was going for the aerials. I'd love to see some old footage of those boys. I'm going to go dig it up. So right now, Rob Bain has first priority. He's only needing a 1.77 to turn it back around. 35 minutes is a lot of time when you're just two guys on the peak. It looks like it's moved a lot closer into shore than when we were out there earlier, so that tide must be starting to shove in and will probably see a little bit more wedge energy created as well. But I'm actually quite sad that this is going to be over when I wake up tomorrow, as Rob Bain, nice line on that one. See how much speed he produced out of that second floater, and he gets a nice ollie on the backwash. And he's like, okay, telling me I do freestyle tricks and nose wheelies, I'm going to show you an ollie here. So 22 minutes remaining.
All right, good little meaty section out the back for Bainey. As he squares off the bottom, gets a little slash under the lip, tried to get another turn in, and finds himself some white water to tag, and then he saw the whitewash coming. Just for a little bit of fun, popped the board up.
Guys are such grommets. Right now, Rob Bain's looking for a 1.77. Pretty sure he's going to pop back up on top, and there it is, 3.77 for that one. So now Shane Horan's looking for a 2.94 with first priority. And wow, they are looking pretty spicy, but the spiciest one of the two right now is Shane Horan.
Yeah, 0.93 still in his top two. So his next opportunity does have that priority. He'll be looking to post something solid on the board. He's been pretty consistent throughout all his heats in terms of scores, and even his wave count. He's been pretty consistent throughout. He's been pretty consistent in his interviews as well. He's kind of been entertaining.
Always.
Opinionated.
He had the most styling shirts down here on the competition site, and I said, hey, how many styling shirts do you have? And he said, I got it from Reno Abalera, because Reno was always one of the most stylish guys around the competition area. Reno Abalera, one of the really innovative shapers back in the days, responsible for the tiger tail and couple. He was really influential when we were going from single fin to twin fin.
What was the tiger tail about, man?
Tiger tail was a jagged. It was almost like a W with one extra little V on it.
Okay.
And so it was this wide block with these big claws in it, and it was pretty cool.
20 minutes and 15 seconds to go. That is our situation. At the Mo, it's Rob Bain. With a slight advantage over Horan. That man on your screen there who would love to take out a Grandmasters World title out here. He's bang up for this. Well, let's see Bainey. He's got an inside wave. He'll slash off the top. He'll throw down some layback. Just squeezing the juice on the inside. That kind of trademark kick out where he kind of holds his arms up high. Just looks out the back. And then he's paddling pretty much faster than he's paddled all week. He's trying to get back out there, maybe see the wave. Let's have a look at the replay, Ben.
He's got a little kung fu steez today. Gets this one jam under here and just thwaps that one. Kicks his foot through the block of wood at the end section there. And here's another angle. Look how he gets up and under this thing. And I think he's a little ticked off about the whole skateboard conversation. He's showing it, isn't he? So here we go. Rob Bain gets the 5.73 for that one, as he should. So he jumps back up in the lead. Shane Horan now needing a 4.91. And things are just going to get more and more spiced up. One thing we're starting to see at the bottom of your screen, we're getting those little trouble warbles. That means the tide's pushing up. We're starting to get a little bit of backwash in the mix. So it's just going to make it that much more interesting and that much more challenging. And Rob Bain knows that that was a good one. He's going to get that information now, and he's going to paddle back out with a little smug grin on his face.
I reckon, yeah, this is going to just fire him up further because he's getting rewarded. He's had the higher energy start. Never really managed to get anything particularly significant in terms of points, and now he's just nudging up there. Nearly a whole point better than Horan's best effort. But plenty of time for Shane, of course, still left. And he won't be rattled at all. Seems to be kind of supremely confident, Shane. And very much an integral part of surfing's folklore. The legendary sort of early days of pro surfing. And everything else, all the good stuff that went with it.
Yeah, I'd have to say that as far as what I've seen around the competition site, Rob Bain's had his eye on the prize. He's been kind of pacing around before his heats, while Shane's been taking videos for his Instagram and just feeling a little bit more cruisy and casual. But all of a sudden, we're seeing a new Shane Horan in this heat as things are looking spicy. And they are literally rubbing elbow grease on each other as Shane Horan's in position.
All right, he's up. This is the view from the drone of Shane Horan streaking down the line. Nice hit in the lip. It's a little hung up. And then he'll swing off the bottom. A little snap tight the pocket. And then speed on the inside as he throws down a little carve back into the white water. A decent first turn using his priority. He'll definitely be improving on his 0.93.
Yeah, the only problem, we'll see this at the end of this ride. Off the bottom. Gets a really nice hit there. Gets a little bit hung up on the top. And right here, he starts to get a little bit too far out in front of the wedge and just doesn't have that rebound speed coming back into the section. Here he goes again. I like that hit. I think he just spent a little bit too much time up on the top of that thing. There's that backwash warble. So kind of fattened up mid-turn on the end section. He's getting a 4.37 for that one. He needs a 4.91 to take the lead back over Rob Bain. Now Rob Bain leading the heat with priority. 16.5 minutes remaining.
All right, well, a good Grandmasters final so far. High intensity. We've had that ever since that little paddle battle up the start. These two have been going at it, kind of hammer and tongs. Both have a bit of a look there. Bain not using the priority. He almost looked like Shane was trying to sell him something. No one goes, and as we just wait for a little lull in the action, Binsley standing by with another all-time great legend of the sport. What have you got, Bins?
Yep, I am down here with an all-time great legend of the sport and the third of the semi-finalists in the Grandmasters, Simon Anderson. What are you making of this final so far between Bainey and Shane?
Yeah, the tide's getting higher and it's a little slower with the sets. And, you know, they've been battling it out on marginal waves, and it's like whoever gets a good wave that's going to come is probably going to win the final.
Looks like there's no love lost. They're right next to each other, paddle battling and bumping elbows and whatnot.
Yeah, Rob's a stubborn bloke and Shane's super competitive, so neither one's giving an inch, that's for sure. It's kind of interesting to watch.
And it's Bainey's birthday today.
Is it really? Well, he's surfing one of my boards, so let's hope it's a happy birthday for him.
And I see you've got the camera down here. Is that something you do a lot, shooting photos of the surf?
Yeah, social media means that at least I own the content then, and it's an interesting hobby. And even though I got it on full automatic, you know, there's still some skill, not much.
And have you got a tip here?
Rob Bain.
There we go on his. There we go. All right, perfect. All right, we'll let you enjoy the rest of the final. Back up to you guys in the box.
Thank you, Binsey. Thank you, Simon Anderson. Some insights there. Bainey's birthday, you'd love to celebrate that atop the podium as a world champion in the Grandmasters division over 55. So it must be his 56th birthday today then.
Well, a shaper always wants to see his board do well. And as I caught those two, Simon Anderson and Rob Bain, after their previous heat, I was telling Simon, I bet you wish you didn't shape such nice boards, because Rob Bain took him out on his own shape.
Great wave here for Shane Horan. He can't quite get his first turn. It did actually go fat and look really good on the outside as it stood up. Got it from under Bainey's priority. Bainey let him go. And in the end, that turned out to be a pretty smart move. I thought it was going to drain on the inside. It did go fat. So it's not going to be massively significant. So he's going to have another look against. He's rolling the dice here on the inside, keeping the wave count high, keeping the energy going. And he'll look down the line, and again, not much opportunity. Well, 13:30 to go. We're getting back with more Grandmasters final live action right after a quick commercial break.
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
O pai diz preservativo. A mãe diz pílula. Eu digo surpresa. O punk diz anarquia. O pop diz beat it.
Bob diz.
Eu digo let it be. Uns dizem isto, outros dizem aquilo. Eu digo arona. Novo Seat Arona. Do your thing.
Welcome back to live as we see Rob Bain on the inside, and the Whitewater's just had a wave. He did use that priority during the break. We'll get you caught up with replays and stuff as we're at that 12-minute mark. So getting towards the back end of this thing. It's been a hotly contested final. We heard Simon Anderson just giving us a bit of insight. Neither of these guys going to give an inch out here. Shane's super competitive. Bainey, stubborn. And that's what we like. We've heard about how much fun it is to catch up, but we want to see some of that intensity. And here goes Haran on a nice wave. A good turn from him. Biggest spray he's thrown this morning. And he put a lot into that first turn, and as a result, he put himself a little bit behind. I'm not sure if there was much of a second bowl. Either way, it's just the one manoeuvre for him. And a pretty big score's coming for Bainey. So we're going to bring you that replay if we can. This happened during the break, but you can see on your screen the scores come in as an 8-1-7. Now let's have a look at it here. Here's the drone shot. Nice first little snap. Bang into the lip. Keeping the speed going down the line. Another hooking snap. And then just tagging it on the end. A really well surfed wave bend.
Yeah, I like this. Gets a quick hit here. Just gaining that momentum. And we're getting to that tide where you start to get that inside end section starting to work. Still not there yet, but it's definitely giving him a chance to get some more solid hits on that end section. And this is a 4.70 for Shane. Gets stuck up under the, nope, I'm sorry, that must be another wave that we've had.
That was previous, I think.
0.50, forget. Stuck up under that one. He's needing a 9.07 now, so Rob Bain looking pretty solid, and if Shane Haran doesn't kind of clean up his wave selection in this heat, it's going to be a happy birthday for Rob Bain.
Advantage Bain at the moment, 8-1-7, a huge score. He's gone up into the excellent range. He's just had the better of the wave selection throughout the opening exchanges. And now that's sort of matured into a pretty solid lead for him. As we check out that last wave from Shane, a good driving bottom turn, a really nice hook. He just didn't get another section, unfortunately, from his point of view. So that was the 4-7 just for the one turn. But now he's got a bit of a requirement on here.
Yeah, the section did kind of bend into him. He did spend a lot of time up on the top of that thing, but even if he had let off a little bit earlier, that thing wasn't going to open up for him. So did it as well as he could with what he was given, 4.70. And trying to think back at what was his highest score of this heat. Do you remember? Was it in the 7s?
Yeah, I can't remember him going up into the 8s previous to this.
Okay.
He's been really consistent with his scores.
Yeah.
He's been posting healthy totals. Yeah, I don't think he's been up in the excellent range. So, a very good time to peak. We talk about, of course, contest surfing not peaking too early. Rob Bain looking really good so far in the final. So the requirement now for Shane Haran on your screen there in blue. Looking for 9.07. But with 8.45 to go. Well, he's got plenty of time to get two ways, almost no paddle out time at all. Pretty close to shore, as Rodrigo said, with Benzie, maybe a bit smaller than we were kind of hoping. Forecast can do that over here as well, as with anywhere, but particularly over here, kind of pretty much in the middle of the ocean, so you can be surprised both ways as it picks up more than you thought. Today, not quite as big as we were hoping.
As someone who, here we go, picking off a little racer in the inside, but that backwash just gets the better of him. That's what happens when you take off too far inside. But what I was going to say is someone who spends a lot of time mind surfing these waves, I know that within this next couple hours, when we get the majority of that incoming surge of the tide, we'll probably see the size come up a bit. We saw it yesterday in the afternoon after the tide bottomed out in our free surf. And as everyone was getting into the frothy beverages and getting their feet warmed up on the dance floor, was probably some of the best waves that we'd seen all day. And so, hanging it up high with the airdrop, Bainey into a big hook on that one. Gets another tap. He's got some cool arms going on today.
All right, well, that was another great wave from Rob Bain, and he's fired up with the paddle out. Let's have a look at the replay. Here he is driving down the line, goes for the roof ride, floats, and projects down straight into a bottom turn. That's a beautiful combo of turns right there. And a little flourish on the end, but coming straight from that float into that rail turn. The judges are going to enjoy that. They've already thrown him an 8. He gets another 8, 8.93 coming in, so score dropping in straight away. And Bainey is streets ahead at the moment. Shane Haran with 7 to go in the combo in this final. He needs 2 waves. He needs a couple of high 8s, actually, as it goes at the moment. So in all sorts of trouble here, Shane Horan.
Yep, someone's going to have to zap into some cosmic energy right now, because combination 17.10 with 6 minutes and basically 6.5 minutes remaining. And we know that those good sets are about 3 minutes apart. So he'll take one, he'll lose that priority, and then Bainey could sit on him for the last 3 minutes, unfortunately. So yeah, someone who is definitely not acting their age and not surfing it is Rob Bain. He is just on fire today, and I think considering the conditions are kind of the worst of the competition, he's surfing the best I've seen him.
Yeah, Shane Horan just maybe kind of wondering, how did I get here? What's going on? Comboed?
This is not my beautiful house.
But he does have a bit of time, and he needs a couple of waves, and he needs to go kind of mad. And it's just been pretty much since the get-go, we've seen kind of exchanges, and each one of them, it's been advantage Bain in just ramming it home. Couple of 8s, and right now he'll be absolutely fine in a becalmed ocean if it all just goes very quiet indeed. That'll suit Bainey down to the ground. As we mentioned, it's his birthday out here, hoping to make Shane Horan cry if he wants to.
It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. I gotcha. Can't remember who sang that. Is that from the 50s or 60s? You would cry too if it happened to you. Well, listen to my party voice. You can tell I've been having fun at night. So 5 minutes remaining, and it's not too unlike Diogo, our Portuguese webcast. He
sounds a bit husky.
I think he's pretty much my arch nemesis as far as the nighttime action goes. Right now, 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, and see, I told you, he's trying to zap into some cosmic energy, and that was Shane Beshing calling the cosmos to zap on in and give him something. Bainey's just given up on trying to understand what the web commentators are saying, and so 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. There's not a lot of surf, and there's not a lot of wind. I can't understand why they can't get the sound right, but they seem to be a little bit stressed out about the situations.
Yeah, quite often at surf events we have trouble with sea breezes coming on shore, can't hear the scores. Maybe in this event, just because we're dealing with surfers surfers slightly more senior in years. Maybe just as hit your hearing.
Come on
Your hearing's
now.
one of the things that starts to go.
No, don't go there.
It could just be down to that, couldn't it?
Don't start calling him the ophthalmologist. 4 minutes remaining, and well, if anyone's had years in the water, hopefully it's not in cold water. And there is, okay, so how much cooler can it be when one of the members of InXS is your board caddy? No wonder she's so happy. And so we've got Rochelle, Ballard, Layne, Beachley in that next one. This is going to be a hot one. And so I hate to say it, but Layne's been out in the water a little bit more. She's been testing out the bar in every other tide. And she's tried to drop in on Binzi basically every other heat. And so I might give it to her on that one.
Yeah, looking really strong. The 7 times world champ. Love to take out the first ever women's Masters title. Let's check out the reclap here. And it's been the story of Bainey. And Shane Horan, exactly sure what he was pointing at there. But all he was really doing was just highlighting this nice little left-hander. Making sure everyone was watching on the beach. We were, judges were too. It was pretty decent. He got a 4 something for that. Then he just got more fired up, built up a head of steam. This one, a nice succession of turns going all the way down the line. And he's really had his iron in this final. Absolutely belting this thing. Finding all the right sections to connect on. Really good stuff from Bainey. Whoa, that turn was 6. So this is the 817. And you thought, okay, decent. And then he even went and improved on that. So really, really solid surfing from Rob Bain. Under that 2-minute mark, Horan in all sorts at the moment. He's in a deep, deep combo. Beautiful lines coming in up the North Atlantic. We are crowning 3 world champions here this morning at the moment. Rob Bain looking really close to have a very happy birthday in this Grandmasters division over 55s.
So how quickly is this heat gone by? Shane Horan, I don't care how much of a spaceman you are, with 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're not getting a combination 17.10, but I want to see him take it out with some dignity, hanging it up high on that one.
All right, little effort on the inside there for Shane Horan. The backhand floater. Let's have a little look at it. Trying to get himself out of combo at least. Just hanging it up. A little whitewater rebound. And he knows that's probably not going to be the score to get him out of combo. Just making his way back out. 45 seconds remaining in this one. Rob Bain is going to be a first world champion out here in the Azores.
On his birthday, I'm loving it. And I think from what I've seen as far as his performance goes, couldn't happen to a better man. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to his interview with Binzi. Really get in there and tell us the nitty-gritty on what was going out, what kind of heated conversation was going on out there between longtime buddies Shane Horan and Rob Bain. Not necessarily longtime buddies. We just know they've been around together for a long time. So we'll see how gritty it gets. As we're hearing our editing room audio screaming in our ears for the last 5 minutes. Let's see if we can get something done with that. But there it is.
All right, nice little cuddle at the end. Shane and Rob. And a well-served final by Rob Bain. Pretty much had the luck in terms of rhythm with the ocean. Shane kind of battled hard, was up for it, but just not really getting those opportunities. Bainey basically surfing like a grommet out there, Ben.
He was doing little ollies off of the backwash, and I thought we were going to see him pulling out some chop hops in the flats like Fabio Gouveia. So we got a lot of really aged grommets, if you will.
Just some really wrinkled grommets.
They're not wrinkled. Everyone's looking really good, and we're going to go to a commercial break pretty soon, but those are our finalists from that first heat. We're starting to see our next heat, Layne Beachley, Rochelle, Ballard, and we're going to be back in just a moment with the women's action. And stick with us because we got 2 big heats coming. We'll see you guys in a second.
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
Neste regresso às aulas, trouxemos a sabedoria à escola. Desculpem, a Sophie.
Olá, setor.
Quem é que oferece 2 anos de aula digital, 2 gigas por mês de net num tablet 4G?
Eu.
Pensei que os robôs eram especialistas em matemática.
Tablet 4G Huawei com oferta de 2 anos de aula digital e 2 GB mês de net móvel para estudar em qualquer lugar. Tudo por apenas 7,99€ mês. Mel, humaniza-te.
All right, welcome back to Praia Santa Barbara Azores Airline World Masters. Here's our first world champion, the Grandmasters division, Rob Bain, beating his compatriot Shane Horan in the final. There's Pam Burridge, just congratulate him on the beach. Just all sorts of legendary surfers down here. And our first one, a freshly minted world champ. We were talking about whether there'd be like any cheering up the beach or whatever. It'd be quite difficult with sort of hernias, bad backs and stuff, so...
You're going way too deep here. Well, I don't care how old are you. You're not going to carry a human being up that 2-foot step. And here we're in an interview, and...
1989 against Mr. X. Also on your birthday?
Also on my birthday.
Unbelievable. Are we live? All right, thanks a lot, guys. Down here with Grandmasters World Champion Rob Bain.
Thanks, Binsey. You know, it was amazing. You know, Shane was always going to be a super hard competitor. He's radical. Everyone knows that. So I was very nervous when the waves were small because I thought if it gets inconsistent, it's going to be a battle. And I was just glad I picked up some waves. So I felt good when I got them. You know, it's just about getting them. That's what it come down to.
So you won the very first ever pro surfing contest in Portugal on your birthday. And all these years later, you've just won a world title on your birthday, mate. How's life right now?
It's so weird. Look, it was hard not to think about that. You know, that was a special moment. I was with my girlfriend back there, now my wife and mother of my kids. And yeah, I walked down the beach today, and actually I'm getting pretty choked up. So really, just a special moment. So.
And obviously some shout outs to people back home?
Yeah, my family. You know, like my sister, my wife, my kids. They know how much I love them. Yeah, just very happy about Binsey, really happy.
Oh, mate, we're all over the moon, thrilled for you. It's probably a little walk ride you'd like to give to some of your podcast supporters back home.
Mate, the Swellians, they know, you know, they were behind me. I was getting a lot of messages and from all my friends and all the Swellians, up the mighty Swellians, mate.
Well, you've reinvented yourself and you're surfing like a grommet. It's been fantastic watching your week, and I can't wait to give you some silverware on the trophy on the podium later.
Yeah, well, someone told me that I get the chance to go back to I was going to call it the ASP banquet, but it's a WSL banquet. So, you know, that'll be good. Myself and my wife can frock up and I'll get a nice trophy. And, you know, I can't believe it. I did take myself down the beach earlier and just to try and really relax. And I just sat there by myself and I couldn't be any happier, you know. It's kind of a good dream come true. It's taken a lifetime, a lot of ups and downs, and it's a special moment.
And then you're going to sit on the sand and cheer on your mate Macca a little bit later in his heat.
Can't wait. We haven't broken our program, you know. It feels like a month ago, but about a week ago we surfed Populo and this horrible onshore, and we ran a couple of heats, and it's just been... When I started in '84, Macca was the guy I went away with in the Australian team, and we've been lifelong friends, and he's got a wonderful family, so it's really special that we both made the final, and, you know, fingers crossed for him.
All right, well, good luck to Dave McCauley, and congratulations, Rob Bain, world champion.
Thanks, Binsey.
Right on, Binsey and Bain. Always some of the most eloquent post-heat interviews that we've heard. Look at the Cheater 5. So that's why he's got that little ball of wax on the tip of the nose. Styling. Just flexing out the nose rocker of that fine Simon Anderson sled. That thing looks a little dreamy, and from the performance that we could see, Simon is still making some of the finest crafts that we've ever seen in the surf world. So coming up, we're going to have our women's Masters final. Rochelle, Ballard, and not coming up. It's already on. Looking at our scoreboard. And once again, our scoreboard has frozen. So what we have on right now is that blue had gotten a 6.50 and Layne Beachley with a 0.60. Not sure how long ago that was because our time screen has frozen. So it froze 1 minute ago. So we're still in the same situation. 0.60 Layne Beachley, Rochelle Ballard in the lead, 6.50. I'm sure this thing will catch up with the action, but that is the current situation up on the top left of your screen.
I'm not sure Layne's been behind yet in this event. This might be unusual for her. She's led from the front all of her heats, and at the moment, a really strong start from Ballard with a 6.5.
Yeah,
Put Beachley on the back foot there, and this could be really exciting. Interesting to see the way she reacts. Like you were saying, 35-minute final, so plenty of time for opportunities. And this is what it's all about. Of course, all about these final heats and coming away a world champion. That's why we're here this week in the Azores. Aside from all of the festivities and the camaraderie and the bonding and the anecdotes, it's also some pretty serious honours up for grabs.
I'm pretty anxious to see how she got that 6.50, because that did go down during that post-heat interview with Bainey. And so I'm really looking forward to see what is happening, or what did happen to get that 6.5. And I was just thinking, just as you were saying, Layne has pretty much dominated from the beginning of her heats. Rochelle has had some really good results and made it through, but she's usually answering back to a first ride. And so she's the one to put the score out there, and now Layne Beachley's chasing her score. This is that's a replay that I would like to see, and I'm sure we'll run across it in just a moment. Right now, almost into the first 5 minutes of this heat, we're seeing that cross wedge action, so characteristic of this beautiful beach at Santa Barbara. Water's warm. We don't have that huffing offshore that we've had on our previous days. So luckily, with this small of swell, with that offshore, would make it that much harder to get in and that much harder to keep your speed down the line.
All right, so a relatively slow start in this women's Masters final, apart from Ballard. Just her one wave ridden of significance. It's pretty significant. It's a good score of a 6.5 from her. She's kind of keen there. Just have a look on an inside. You see the wobble go through the wave. And we've been super blessed with epic conditions down here this week. Beautiful offshores. All day, just grooming these peaks. And any kind of swell in the North Atlantic, this place will pick it up. You also get south swells on the other coast as well. Bainey was talking about Popula, the spot they started surfing beginning of their week out here. It's down on the other side in town. So basically 2 hemispheres swell window, which is kind of cool. There's not that many places in Europe you can surf south swells. This is one of them.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and please don't shoot the postman, but I think the camera that would have gotten Rochelle Ballard 6.5 was on Binzi and Beno, so we're just going to imagine what could have happened. So what's your version?
It must have been good surfing, mate. It must have been radical in the pocket.
Now we're talking.
Here she's having a paddle, and again, just got kind of quiet. The last one we opened up with a bunch of 4s. Bainey kind of bringing it towards the end, turning the screw with a couple of 8s. And Rochelle starting off super strong in this one, and then Beachy just kind of left a stew on that for a while. As we get kind of lulls, long lulls, nice little lines marching through.
When we were out in the water, I mean, we'd have a solid 3 set waves, and then the ocean would go completely flat. Like, there weren't in-between sets. So today with the smaller size, you pretty much, you got to get on one of those 3 set waves, and then especially with these higher tide conditions, if you get a later wave in the set, you're probably left with some warble. So not as much waves on offer. I'm sure they're really appreciating that extra 5 minutes. And I was tricked a few times with some oncoming wedges. It looked like they should surely be a gem, and they passed me right by. They didn't for Paul Evans, because for some reason, you've been one of the high-performing wave magnets out in our free surfs. Binzi said it too.
Under that 28-minute mark in this one, and the only thing really to tell you about is Ballard's 6.5. Should be feeling pretty decent right now. Great waves.
Have you noticed how you've avoided every one of my... You don't answer a question with, all right, so...
All right, well, let's throw down to Binzi, who's standing by with yet another legend of the sport. What have you got, Bins?
Yep, got another world champ down here, Pam Burridge, looking like Australia's #1 cheerleader today.
Well, I had a sure bet in that last one, didn't I? Go Shane, go Robbie.
And 2 rivals going at it right now in Layne Beachley and Rochelle Ballard. You got a tip here?
Well, you'd think Layne would be the favourite. Rochelle started stronger. Layne could scratch onto this one. I'm going to yell, watch out. Go Layne, come on. Well, this is the one. Go, go, go. Yeah, she's up on this one. She's going to hit it. There you go. yeah, the wave kind of softened on her, but that'll be a good score. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be tight, I think.
And no hard feelings on not making the final. You're happy to see these guys go at it?
Oh, I hate them. I wish I could beat them, but yeah, I wasn't really ready. I wasn't really at a level, I don't think. Yeah, in hindsight, you go, oh yeah, I probably should have worked a bit harder and done some more video review and all that stuff. And so yeah, but I'm so really stoked for these girls. They're surfing really well, and but we're all just so stoked to be here, you know, to be included in the Masters and see all the old lads as well as the old girls. And so yeah, it's been good, and it's a motivation to keep, I don't know, keeping current and trying to push your surfing a bit more rather than just going straight all the time like I normally do.
Yeah, well, hopefully the Masters will be back next year and you know where the level's at now, so you got something to aim for?
Yeah, absolutely. I imagined everyone would be surfing really good, but I still didn't probably train hard enough in a certain kind of way. But yeah, now I know. So yeah, what to do, or otherwise just, yeah, cheer squad, that's good for me too.
And the Azores are a pretty special place. You had a good chance to go and check things out?
Yeah, we've been sightseeing every day in between heats, and like around every corner you just spontaneously go, wow. So yeah, I'm telling all my friends and acquaintances that this is, yeah, a great place to visit because it's amazing.
Well, the Aussies are 1 from 1. Let's hope you can keep waving your flag a little bit more as the day goes on.
Let's see how we go.
All right, thanks a lot, Pam Burridge. Back up to you guys in the box.
Right on, Binsey. And so it looks like we are working on a score for that one that Pam Burridge was rooting on for Layne Beachley. So we'd like to know what happened there. We do have a replay, it looks like, right on. Here we go, looking like she's linking up to the wedge here. I like the way this wall's standing up. Nice big carve. Gets back to that little energy pocket. Starts to go a little bit fat, but she's sticking with it and waiting for that inside to build up. Gets a little bank off that end section, but she'd already gotten the job done on those first couple. So she is known for really laying into it. That didn't have the verticality on the face that she was looking for, but I think that's an excellent second attack for Layne. She got a 4.83. She's needing a 1.68 to take over the lead.
All right, so Layne gets a chance to reply. She might have another look here. A little steep one on the inside, off the bottom, bang into the lip. Keeping the speed down line, that's a nice hook. She did really well to deal with the white water, keeping light on her toes. Some skillful surfing there from the 7-time world champ. And just a ferocious competitor throughout her time on tour. Talked about in the last heat not giving an inch. Well, neither does this woman here. And that's a beautiful combo of turns there from her. And
so she got smacked by backwash and the side wedge.
Would really have blamed her for becoming detached from her equipment there. She did so well to hang on. Let's check out Ballard, swooping out the back. Just kind of setting up, speeding down the line. Gets a little snap. It looks from this angle, a bit of a fatter wave. That's quite deceptive from above. This is the beach angle, the cliff angle of the same wave. She's kind of negotiating a bit of wobble outside, and then she kind of gets a little bowl. This is decent. So this will be a backup score. And another little slash from it will go in her top 2. And we're game on here, Ben.
I'm quite sure it is, because we got another score coming in for that last one with Layne avoiding that little converging energy on the end section. And there's Layne's boy having a great old time down here. This is the most stylish character that we have. And I think we're about to see that score. Layne Beachley, I'm sorry, Rochelle Ballard, 3.93 for her second score. And so I can't tell. I guess Rochelle's wave was before Layne Beachley's. She had a 5.61 requirement. So that's what she was actually needed for that last one, where she avoided the trouble zone on the end section. Luckily with the size today, in the previous days, about 3 times as big, that same converging section would just avalanche over our competitors, basically eat them whole. And she was able to fight back for a 6.60 to finish that one off. She is in the lead now with priority. And Rochelle Ballard now in second, needing a 4.94.
Yeah, so Layne fired up. But that big score coming in for Rochelle early on. Then she had to stew out the back for a while without an opportunity. Now she's had a couple, and she's into it. She's built herself a score at 6.5 for a beautiful little combo. Did really well to avoid the backwash. She talked about the amount of time she's spent free surfing, kind of frequency as well. She surfed at like all stages, as she was saying. So just very familiar with this beach break. And we're going to go down and hear from Binzi, who's standing by with Shane Horan.
Last heat, and no shame becoming second in the world, mate.
Yeah, mate. It was a funny heat. Like mentally, I was all over the place. I just had no confidence today. Every time I kept coming up to hit the lip, I'd get all jittery and stuff. Normally, I just crack the top and tear the top off it, and it's it was really hard for me. You know, it wasn't a comfortable surf at all. And Robbie, mate, he just kept going from strength to strength. Like he's kicked off on some small ones, and he was getting pretty good scores. And then when he started to get his rhythm and he picked off a couple of really good ones in the heat, it was all over. You know, there was no way I could come back in that heat. It was my frame of mind. I've been struggling with a few things, and I'm trying to put them in the background. Like I was getting up really bad. My sciatica's been playing up and getting up really slow, and it doesn't give me that time to be able to get settled. And my front foot wasn't landing on the board properly. You know, but it's one of those really bad mental games for me. Shocker.
You got to be happy for your old mate Rob, though.
I am so stoked for Robbie winning the world title. He's a top bloke, and
it's his birthday too.
Yeah, well, happy birthday, Bainey. He's like in the water. It was game on, really tough tactics. If you saw at the start, we were going each other at the start, and then I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to try and keep him on that side of the peak, and if a really good one comes, I'll just push over, and that way none of us will get it. And because he was really holding the inside, he wouldn't budge on the inside, so I thought, okay, I can play this game too. And then a wave came and he started going, I'm going left. No, I just did the silent thing because I was in a better spot. I knew I was pushing him hard so he couldn't catch it. And then we scrambled for it, but I didn't get it, and I didn't really want it. I was just sort of muscling with him, you know. So, but this has been such a good contest. Like we've had waves every day, and it's got a real nice peak to it, like a wedge. And the wave's got plenty to offer. You can do your whole routine on it, and you know, everybody's had a fantastic time. Like we've all surfed together, had great waves together. And we've been catching up with insane chats. It's not all about surfing for us guys. It's about, you know, we talk about our families, but we talk about all these funny things we've done, you know, like nights out we've had, or, you know, remember that time we were on a train and we all were we went the wrong direction for 3 and then we couldn't find our way back, and, you know, just there's so many funny things have happened on the tour, and everyone here is part of the original tour. We're the guys who built the tour. You know, the tour is what it is today because of all of us guys, and it's just been an amazing experience. Really, like you couldn't think up a better experience.
And I think there's been a real outpouring of energy and emotion from the fans as well. Everyone's really loving seeing you guys both in the water and these conversations with us. You were saying you've got a podcast before, if people want to follow up with what you're up to?
Yeah, I got a podcast called The Paddle Out, and I'd also like to say, like, my brother coached me for this, and I'd like to say thanks to him and to Dave Davidson. They really tuned me up in this event to get ready for it, and it all helped. Like, we've been working on this for 8 months, so to my brother Stephen, thank you. To Davo, thank you. And to everyone, Tony Spanos, 5 years ago you said, mate, get ready for the Masters. Well, here we are, mate, we're in the finals.
Well done, mate. And a tip for the ladies' finals that's in the water right now?
Yeah, well, you know, I kind of don't play favourites because they're all my friends. Even I'm not really into the Aussie versus American thing at all. I kind of just like to see the better guy win on the day, the guy who's really ripping. Right now you got like Rochelle Ballard sat way down the beach now. She's made a direction change, and you got Layne Beachley who's stuck to her guns out here in a good position. So they've called out the scores. So now they know the scores, and Rochelle's realised, okay, she's getting better waves down there. So she's now made a move, which is pretty good tactic. Had she been up there and got like 8-point rides, she might have, you know, been able to win it from there. So now she's bringing herself back into the game. She's brought herself straight out to the front. It's going to be a really good finish to this final. It's going to be epic.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a really good week, this whole event, and we've loved having you here, Shane.
Right on, Chris. And you guys, all the commentators have been fantastic too. These guys go surfing in the morning, and we all share waves, and they can all rip too, all of them. They all rip. They're all hot surfers.
You're too kind. All right, back up to you guys in the box.
Thanks, Binsey. Well done, Shane Haran. Let's get you caught up with situation. Under 16 and a half minutes to go. It's still Beachley, the 7-time world champ. And at the mo, she's looking pretty strong. She's got a couple of sixes. A 6-6 and a 6-3-3. And Rochelle's got a 6-5. Let's check out Layne. And here she goes with a late takeoff. And just swooping in a pocket. This one just pushing down the line. Nice little power pocket with punch for Layne. As she tags it. Still wasn't done. And going all the way onto the sand. This is the view from the cliff bed.
She's been so glued to her board. Look how that wedge just slams into her, and it just put her that much, it's just stuck her to the board that much more as she comes out, connects with that wedge power, and still finds these little end sections. She's not done yet. And
have we seen her fall off her board this week? She finishes every wave. Just so polished. Obviously supremely confident in her own ability. And just executing the technique there. She had to come from behind a little bit in this one. Ballard asked a question early on. Since then, it's been Beachley with the replies. But Rochelle, well, because she does have that 6-5, she's by no means out of this. Her requirement now 6-4-4. So just needs to go slightly under what she's already posted with 15 on the clock.
Yeah, one thing that is a factor today is you kind of get in this cycle, in this rhythm of the having good wave selection, your opponent has bad wave selection, and then you paddle out, you're back in position, and with the timing of the ocean, whoever kind of links into it is usually going to have the best waves throughout the heat. And we've seen that work in a few of the other heats, where someone got the good wave, left the junk for their opponent, got back out there, got another one, and it's this place has a really interesting rhythm to it. And here we go. Layne Beachley on one of the bigger waves that we've seen. The section is running on her, but she's going to find that open face. And it kind of zoomed out a little bit. That wasn't what she was expecting off the takeoff. I think she thought it was going to hold up a little bit more. One thing that we don't have is basically the wind is dead. On those earlier days with the offshores, that whole section would have held up.
So this is the view from the drone. And as you were saying, just couldn't quite get on the open face. By the time she did, that wave pretty much run its race. Ballard out the back with that priority. She looked kind of interested in something here because we see a good wave stand up. She's going to have to get skates on. She does. And she's looking down the line. She was a long way back on that one. That wave, a bit more of a straight hander.
I forgot to clue you in on one of the best places that I've eaten here yesterday, and it had enough of a vegetarian menu that even you would be pleased. It's called Tasca, and that's no secret. Gary Elkerton said that that's his spot for the last 3 years coming here. But the waiter there, Marcio, goes, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm here with the surfing contest. I don't know how we started talking about music. U2 just had a concert in Lisbon about a month ago. And so he's showing me U2 live footage, and I said, well, you might be interested to know that the saxophonist for In Excess is here. He was flipping out. He goes, give him my card. Tell them to come in here. They can go in there and probably get a nice free bottle of wine. And yes, that is Layne Beachley's husband, Kirk Pengilly, from In Excess. And he is one of the most colorful characters, and he didn't look like someone that you would expect to see around a competition area. So we'll get back to that in just a moment. We've got a little lull in the sets. Rochelle Ballard's chasing a 6.44. Let's see if she can get it during this break. We'll see you guys in just one moment.
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
Neste regresso às aulas, trouxemos a sabedoria à escola. Desculpem, a Sophie.
Olá, Saturno.
Quem é que oferece 2 anos de aula digital, 2 gigas por mês de net num tablet 4G? Pensei que os robôs eram especialistas em matemática.
Tablet 4G Huawei com oferta de 2 anos de aula digital e 2 GB mês de net móvel para estudar em qualquer lugar. Tudo por apenas 7,99€ mês. Mel, humaniza-te.
Welcome back to live action. Beautiful prayer, Santa Barbara. The crowd lining the beach for the final. It's Beachley, the 7-time world champ, taking on Ballard, the charger, known for her prowess in tubes. Well, it's manoeuvres she's going to require here. At the moment, it's a close one. Ballard, just the backup score. The difference, essentially, at the moment, 6-4 for the requirement. 10:25 remaining. And we are going to hear from Chris Binns, who's standing by with Layne Beachley's better half.
Yep, thanks a lot, guys. Down here with Kirk Pengilly, who is, as you just mentioned, the other half of Layne Beachley. There's plenty of rock stars in this event, but we've actually got a genuine one here too. How are you loving Portugal?
Oh, loving it. Yeah, I came to the Azores with the band in 2011, and we did a show on one of the other islands. And it was fantastic. So actually to come here again to a different island, and we've done some tourist stuff, driven up to lakes and hot springs, and it's beautiful. Love it.
And how are you enjoying the competition? Layne's in the lead at the moment. You nervous?
I hate it. It's just the anxiety you get watching it, because you just want them to win and all that sort of thing. But also we're really good friends with Rochelle, so it kind of makes that awkward. But yeah, it's good.
Ladies, under 10 minutes, 9.5.
It's very fickle. The waves out there are very fickle, so yeah, stressful.
And you've been sort of a fixture around the surf scene with Layne for a number of years now. How do you love the sort of surfing circles?
Oh, look, I love it. I mean, it's such a great sport, and it's so unpredictable. Unlike any other sport, you're battling. I mean, sailing maybe, but you're battling nature. You never know what it's going to throw at you, and so it's different. It's not like a running race where they run around a circuit and it's the same every time. So it's really fun to watch, and it's such a graceful sport. Yeah, I love it.
I was just talking to Jamie Brissick before, and we were saying, there's a lot of big characters at this event, but obviously you've lived a life around big characters. It's all water off the ducks back to you. You just seem to trash talk Simon Anderson, and you can joke with the best of them.
Yeah, look, I haven't met a lot of them. A lot of them were before my time. Layne and I have been together for 16 years, so my kind of involvement with surfing, apart from a few, Australian characters that I met over the years, but yeah, there's some really, really great people, and just seeing them all interact at this event, some of them haven't seen each other in 20 years or more, and sitting around telling old stories about when they're on tour. It's a healthy thing. It's a great thing,
All right, well, we're just under 10 minutes to go, so I'd probably let you live out these nervous last 10 minutes. Good luck, and thanks for just being around the event this week.
Yeah, thanks, mate. See ya.
All right, back up to you guys in the box.
Madame Binzi, and there is Layne in the lineup, still with the lead, also priority. And she's got a game face on, she's got her sleeves rolled up. Intensely competitive and focused. She's looked very relaxed out here, extremely relaxed. And at the same time, out in the water, very much game on users. The priority there with a nice late drop and smashing a good turn into the lip. So just keeping Ballard off that one.
Getting that, she threw out the block just to make sure Rochelle Ballard doesn't get that 6.44 she needs, but she ended up putting a nice smack together as that converging right came in and tried to cup and munch her up, and she was putting on a good battle to come out of that thing. So right now her scores are 6.60 and 6.33. Sure, we won't see much come in for that last one. So Rochelle Ballard's still going to need a 6.44, but 7 minutes remaining, and the excitement's been so high that the time just blows by. 35 minutes, I was thinking was going to seem like a long time, but it's...
Ballard interested in a right-hander. Here she goes. Sorry, Beachley on a right-hander. And up into the lip, it's a softer wave, it pushes wide. Nevertheless, she just connects to a little inside and absolutely milking it. Found her way over a flat section, gets a nice spray and tags it again. So she was just making her way back out there. Ballard was in the lineup. And Beachley, just before she got back to the lineup, just span and went on a little inside one. And in the end, got a couple of decent hits. I think the score will suffer slightly from that big flat section in the middle. Let's check the replay, see what she got done. So just driving down the line. There's a nice first re-entry. Yeah, it went super soft here. You're probably thinking, that's it. And she did really well to connect it. And a nice little tag. It's so polished as well in terms of her technique. The board always in the critical parts of the wave. Scores in for her. It's a 4. It's not going to go in the top 2. And their requirement's been the same requirement for a while now. Ballard looking for 6.44.
Yeah, that's been the same board under Layne Beachley's feet from the days that we had some overhead sets. Now we're kind of to the waist to shoulder high stuff. That thing has consistently performed on every condition. That MG shape, and I want to take a closer look at that thing, but it has a really well-rounded outline, and yeah, the people who don't switch around on boards can just stay linked up with that rhythm from session to session, no matter what's thrown at them.
All right, Ballard. We'll just be hitting the 5-minute warning. She looks like she's seen something. She's paddling with a lot of intent there. Maybe she's just thinking about heading back to where she opened up this one. She was to the left of your screen, up by that corner wedge that comes off the cliff. And you can see now, as the tide filled in, it looks a bit different than it did at the start of our Grandmasters. We do have that side wobble and a whole load of power out here. Deceptively powerful break, because no continental shelf, being out in the middle of the ocean. So dealing with open ocean swells. Here goes Ballard, no stranger to those. And she's got a meaty wave. You see the wedge go through it. Ooh. And looks like she hit our filmer there.
Yeah.
She goes down on the inside. 4 minutes to go.
Let's see what happens here. She's driving into this section, taps that one, and yep, she did catch her heel edge fin on the filmer, which is going to spice her up. She's looking a little ticked off right now. 4 minutes remaining. And she's needing a 6.44. Luckily, it wasn't too bad of a bash. Kept that fin on the board. And so 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Layne Beachley holding priority at the top of the peak. So
we got sets pouring in here, Ben. It's looking like a bit more energy out there too, and a good looking wave here for Layne. She decides not to go. She does have that priority. She can afford to be the fussier. She does have the lead as well. The score comes in for Ballard. It's going to be flat 3 for her. Not going to change anything. Her requirement unchanged. 6.44 as we go down towards that 3 minute mark. Beautiful glassy conditions. And we're liking seeing a bit more juice out there, a bit more energy. Here goes Ballard in the white water. Always pretty late on that one. She goes straight down. I'll just drain a few more seconds off the clock. A little bit of energy. Possibly add to the any frustration she might be feeling.
yeah, this I'm liking what we're seeing as far as that incoming tide. That wind's keeping it really nice and soft, keeping it glassy. And we're going to do a little heat recap here.
Well, Layne Beachley just dialed in all week here at the Azores. And she ripped this one. Nice little inside racetrack, using the speed to tag the lip a couple of times. And that got herself back into the lead. And from there, she wasn't looking back. She backed it up with this, a 6.33, by just swinging into the lip. Just punching all the way through to the inside. And that's the reason why she's in the lead in this one, but it's still close. All Rochelle needs, basically, is a wave similar to what she got early on, but that feels like an awful long time ago with 1:45 remaining.
And Rochelle Ballard taking a little search around here, and so We have seen that beautiful piece of craft to take Layne Beachley through her heats. That is shaped by Mauricio Gill from Brooksville, New South Wales. I've known the name, I just didn't know the logo, but that is one very nice sled that she's riding. And Mauricio, nice shaping, because that thing is a good chance to taking her in, making her another world champion.
Yeah, so I wonder how many opportunities Ballard is going to get. Possibly just one more go at this. Layne does have priority. And the proverbial sticking like glue as she just follows Ballard up the beach. Ballard desperately trying to get away. And there's very little chance of that. Layne Beachley, so experienced. You don't get 7 world titles unless you know how to compete as well as surf. And she's just going to stay very close to her indeed. If she sees a wave that she thinks could offer the score potentially to Rochelle, she's not going to let her have it. Of course, it could be a wave behind it. So from Rochelle's point of view, she should just be hoping something comes her way. Here we go. We've got a little left-hander shaping up here. Rochelle's in the spot.
Yeah, well, it's this kind of time management that gets you 7 world titles. And so she'll be walking away with 8.
All right, well, looks like the clock is going to tick down here as we go down to the final 10 seconds of this one. Ballard still needing a 6.44. And it looks like Layne Beachley is going to add to her already very impressive haul of silverware, the trophy cabinet. Make a little bit more room for one more. She's going to be the first ever Women's Masters champion.
Kirk's charged up. Yeah, I'd seen him around the competition area, and I thought that Salvador Dali came back to us with an Australian accent. Definitely. So look how low that nose rocker is on that board. It just shows how that thing makes that much speed across those flat spots. We saw that on that right as she just kept linking it up where there was no wave at all. Once again, beautiful shape there. I'm going to take a closer look at that thing when we finish things off. And next up, we have our final heat number 1 for Dave McCauley, Shane Beshin.
All right, congratulations, Layne Beachley. Big smile on the dial and well deserved. She's been dominant out here all week. She's looked very relaxed in and out of the water. And she's got it done in style out here, Ben.
The shore break just sets you on the sand. Just as you think you're going to step off, it just dumps you. I rolled onto my head and I was pulling out sand well into the evening. But she is super stoked. And there we have it. We've crowned another champion. And she is charged up. Next up, we're going to have Dave McCauley and Shane Beshin. So California turned Hawaii up against Australia for that next one. That is just one cool supportive husband right there.
Congratulations, Layne Beachley. Of course, the first time we've had the women in the Masters. And she just ripped this final. Rochelle started off really strong. Could never really get it back up. We're going to get into Binsey, who's standing with a very fresh world champ.
Yep, down here with a now 8-time world champion, Layne Beachley. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That was such a battle. It was really tricky conditions, and I liked Rochelle's ploy to go down there. He's kind of distracted my attention from what I was doing for a little bit, but I had my game plan and I stuck to it, and it worked out in the end.
Well, you guys weren't going to die wondering. You paddled up and down the beach hunting waves.
I must have travelled about 3 kilometres in that heat, and that was just paddling. Every time I speak to one of the guys, they go, you know what, I just keep moving up and down and just chasing it. So I just trusted that Huey would send me the waves wherever I went, and I was very fortunate that he did.
And it's not your first rodeo coming out on top, but how different is it coming here to the Masters?
You know, this is really satisfying, and I know you've heard it all before, that everyone's loving being here, and we're really, really just grateful to the WSL for recognising the pioneers and the trailblazers of the sport and putting this event on, because as you can see, we still love to compete. We still love to prove to ourselves and each other that we've got what it takes to win, and I look forward to competing in this event in future years. I must admit, though, I don't miss the competitive nerves. My God, this is hard work. How did I do this for 19 years?
And any comments on seeing Bainey, who's from your same hometown?
Yeah, so stoked for Bainey. QBC all the way, you know. It was great to see Bainey get a win because he's been surfing so good. He's been really consistent. He's really hungry, and he deserved it. He surfed so well. I was sitting out there going, I just want one of those waves that Bainey got. You know, one where I can do 3 turns. I get them in my free surf. I wasn't able to score a couple in my heats, but it's still very satisfying to get the win regardless.
And any last words on this whole event and Rochelle's performances?
Yeah, I want to congratulate Rochelle. She's been a giant killer. You know, I was really expecting to surf against Frida just considering the scores that she was posting, but Rochelle got a number and it was good to see. She's surfing so beautifully, and it's just so inspiring to surf with people like Pam and Jodie and Pauline and Frida. And of course, Rochelle, you know, we were tour buddies for many years. We've been hanging out, having a lot of fun here in the Azores, and you know, I have no doubt that she'll come back and win it next year if she really wants to.
So was there a wager on? Do you buy dinner tonight or does she?
Actually, yeah, Kirk put a wager on it last night. He goes, whoever wins buys dinner. So Kirk, we walked away. He's like, Josh out.
We might have lost him because he said he was rushing off to get a beer to quell his nerves. But go join him and we'll see him on the podium later. Congratulations.
Epic, thanks. And good luck to Dave and Shane. Yeah, Shane Beshan and Dave McCauley. I think we're going for an all-Aussie triple. Hat-trick. Yeah, go the hat-trick.
All right, congratulations, Layne Beachley. Back up to you boys in the box.
Thanks, Bins. Well done, Layne Beachley. Congratulations. Another world title for her. We're going to go to a break. We're going to be back with the Masters final. Dave McCauley taking on Shane Beshan right after this break.
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
O pai diz preservativo. A mãe diz pílula. Eu digo surpresa. O punk diz anarquia. O pop diz beat it. Eu digo let it be. Uns dizem isto, outros dizem aquilo. Eu digo garona. Novo Seat Arona. Do your thing.
Welcome back live to Praia Santa Barbara, Azores Airlines World Masters. This is the final of the over 45s, the Masters division. We've got 2 new world champs, Rob Bain and Layne Beachley. Who's going to beat Beshan or McCauley in this one? Bit of a spread in years between these two. McCauley, the veteran, the more life experience, years under his belt. Beshan, the more youthful and sprightly. Definitely one of the standouts so far in terms of performances, Beshan. And McCauley has been unbelievable in his heats as well. He's brought his A game to this, and here he goes early on a left-hander. Just swinging in the pocket and bangs into the lip. A lot of precision to his surfing. He's got a fair bit of board out the lip there. Tags it nice for a setup. Beshan, lots of speed, just effortlessly down the line. And a section drops in front of him. It's a little open exchange. 32 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. We're going to wait for those scores to lock in. Just kind of set the tone in terms of...
Speaking of the numbers, kind of forget the numbers. Young and sprightly is also Dave McCauley. I mean, the guy is the biggest grom that we have on the competition side. And look at this performance, just getting right to his feet. He's our busiest surfer throughout this competition. Gets a beautiful hook back into the whitewash. And then hits it in all the right places. Even gets the fins to drift a little bit on that momentarily.
It's going to be a good score. It's a 6.33, a really strong start for Macca. Love the way he went into this turn. He saw the opportunity, saw him just adjust his line when he saw the lip stand up. Then he accelerates up to the lip. And because of that acceleration, he got a lot of board out of the lip. Beshan behind, just tagged it once. And he was trying to climb around the foam. that trademark technique, just effortlessly getting speed, doesn't get a section. So 3-5 in for Shane. And just in terms of the opening exchange, it's advantage D-Mac.
Dave McCauley, 6.33.
All right, we're going to go down and here Benzie is with the runner-up, Rochelle Ballard.
Ballard now second in the world in the inaugural Women's Masters.
Yeah, I'm happy to make the final. I think the biggest thing for me is wanting to just surf and perform well, and I think that the heat just kind of really was lacking in waves. I felt like I started off really good, and I had a good strategy, and then it just kind of stopped breaking right there. So kind of was like, well, I should probably go down and surf where Layne's at. Nothing really came through. It was just kind of wobbly bits coming through, and unfortunately, the way that I had a chance to, get a good score on, I hit my first turn, and then I was coming around the bottom turn. The photographer got in my way, and my fin clipped his fin, and I fell.
It's unfortunate. It was a great tactic to paddle down the beach. I mean, you and Layne were about 200 metres apart at the start of the heat, and you got that wave, and you could see it got in her head because she was like, oh, what's going on back up there?
For sure. I think for me, I've always been better at surfing than competing. And so if I try to surf a heat or to compete in a heat, let's say, I'm too heady. And I always do so much better when I'm just thinking about surfing and connecting with the ocean and the waves, and connecting with my board. So I felt like I was doing the right thing. I probably should have just stayed over there and just kind of, acted like a grom on the inside and found something to connect with. But it's tricky, you're in a heat and it's like you got priority and someone's down the beach and just all of a sudden betters and ups her score. You kind of have to play that game a little bit too. So I think it was just unfortunate the waves didn't really come through and produce like I was hoping to. And, it's a great event. I'm super stoked to be here and felt good on my boards and, just being able to hang out with everybody and catch up again like old times. And yeah, just super stoked. This place is it's beautiful, and just thanks to WSL and for Azores for putting this event on for us. And yeah,
it's been great talking to so many of the guys in the event, saying how stoked they are to see you guys here as well. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Like I said before, it's like there's a shift that happens in maturity where you want to be here to enjoy your time and the experiences that you're having, and not just so focus on that victory and the game, but just the journey and the experiences that we're sharing together.
And the Azores, you loving this place?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. There's a lot to explore around here. We've kind of hit like the obvious great spots, but you look at some of the postcards and like, wow, that's beautiful. It's just really tropical and still has this dry land to it, to where they can produce a lot of agriculture, and so it seems like a very sustainable place.
All right, well, we've really enjoyed your performances this week, and let's hope we see you at many more of these WSL Masters to come.
All right, cool. Thanks for all the support from home as well. Aloha.
All right, back up to you guys in the box. Cheers, Rochelle.
All right,
Thank you, Chris Binns. Well done, Rochelle Ballard, runner-up in the World Masters. We're going to have a look at that wave, see what happened. It's a meaty wave. She dealt with some wobble on the outside, and then there just comes on start. I mean, just looking at the replay, to be honest, I'm not sure she was really going to get a turn in anyway on that last section. The wave was closing out. She was not going to get 6.44 on that anyway. But still, stuff happens in heats. There's all sorts to deal with.
Yeah, so see how I did that? You're rubbing off on me. It's like you're starting a new conversation all on your own. Such a cheeky little thing that you do, Mr. Evans. But I'm really going to miss it because we're down to the last 28 minutes and I get to sit next to this fine character as we see Dave McCauley still holding on to that 6.33. Shane Beshin needing only a 2.84. He's got priorities at the top of the peak. One thing we have seen throughout the morning is that where Dave is sitting, you're assured the easiest way into that little wedge that comes across, and when you do sit at the top of the peak, you do end up behind the wedge at times. So gonna see what happens here with this next set that comes through. We know that there's only about 3 good waves on offer when the set does come through. That first one could be the one that gives Shane Beshin a 2.84 to get this game back started here.
Yeah. So pretty big lull since the opening exchange.
That was a little lull in the audio and the commentary, wasn't it?
Yeah, just kind of got off the boil
a
little bit.
So look at Junior in the middle right there. This guy's looking wiry. He's looking groovy. He's looking like Fabio Gouvet on the dance floor last night.
What sort of moves is Fabio bringing?
He had
Any flossing, or was he keeping up contemporary? Or
no.
like,
he had capoeira. He had the old starting up the breakdancing battle. Top rocking. I'm so glad you had that because I wasn't about to pull it out. But yeah, it was definitely Naughty Pauline Mensker that had the best of the breakdance moves. She was popping and locking, and we actually had a pop lock ring going on. I hope someone's got video of it. Someone here in the Azores has video of that. But what a fun time it's been here, and pretty sad to say that there's 26 minutes of our fun and action here. But amazing surfing, great waves, delicious food, fun nightlife, and just an unlimited amount of kind of ecotourism that you have here with sights to see, natural hot springs, volcanoes. It's just, this is the island that has it all.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, all kinds of surf as well. Variety of coast and spots picking up as well from all directions. We've been really lucky this week. Should also thank the locals as well for lending us their waves. And beautiful uncrowded peaks all up and down this beach. Been up and down this the last few years for various events, usually a QS. It's going to return next year. Certainly put a different kind of flavour on things, different vibes to having the Masters. Been a pretty epic week of competition. We've got 2 new world champions decided. A third one is about to go down. Only a single wave each as we go past the 10 minutes gone in this one.
Look at the lens Buzz he's packing. He means business right here.
It's Buzzy Kerbox on the red shorts there. Here we go, and we got live action. Shane Besham streaking down the line on an inside wave, and that one goes into a hole. Macaulay having a little look out the back, decided not to go. But just as we go through this lull, that wave of Macaulay, the 633, just kind of looks bigger and bigger.
Look at the warble coming up there. So this is the first set we've seen in a few minutes. Really full, starting to see that reverberation, that little backwash bouncing off that inside ledge on the sand. And now as we get closer and closer to our midday high tide, things are going to get trickier, and we've got more energy going back out to sea as well as laterally across the beach.
All right, so D-Mac opting to stick to the peak out the front. Besham going down towards the wedge off the cliff, trying to mix it up here, Shane.
I hate to say it, but I tried that earlier, and I ended up moving back where Dave was.
Yeah, so just because we haven't had many opportunities on this one, just asking the question, thinking about maybe I'll get more opportunity down there. Does have a bit of a habit of doing that out here. Waves kind of pop up where you just were. Easy to get kind of caught in 2 minds and end up maybe in that sort of fat spot between the 2 of them. Macaulay looking like he's sticking very much to plan A for the time being. The main peak's pretty much bang in front of the judging tower where we are.
The really ridiculous thing is that Shane Besham's been chasing a 2.84 for about 8 minutes, and the ocean just went to sleep on him. And so I really expected for the tables to turn way earlier on in this heat. See him giving a little bit of an anxious kick there, saying, "Come on, King Neptune, why are you punishing me so?" And so 23 minutes, I know that we will see a couple more spicy exchanges, but it's just a matter with the timing of the tide right now that isn't making things any easier or any less stressful for Shane Besham.
Yeah, we had that heat against Egan, didn't he, in the semi, where he got the score right in the last gasp. Let's check out Macaulay, the heat leader in red. And he's got some white water to deal with and unable to get around that. It's going to count for him because that's only his second wave ridden. So we'll go in his top 2. There's the replay. You see him up and just kind of coming from a low line position and trying to project to float down the line as the wave just closes out in front of him. Let's get a count. It's just a 2. Does extend his lead. He'll certainly be hoping not to have a 2 in his top 2 waves. Come the horn. At the moment he's in the driving seat with that 633 and Besham. Just having to be super patient. As I was just saying, he He needed that score against Luke and showed that patience. An opportunity came to him, so he'll know it's not over till it's over. But still a long time left to go. 20 minutes and 35. It's 21 and 35 remaining.
We haven't been seeing Shane in the free surfs, so I hate to say it, but I think I've put more time in the water, and I would tell him to move back over to that other peak, because you only get waves over there if you're Paul Evans, and I don't know how you linked into those. I tested out that wedge because I saw you getting good ones, and then I never got one. And where I did get a bunch was when I was getting cheeky, sitting on the inside where Dave McCauley is, and I kept just cleaning up everything that passed by everyone else. So he is definitely in the zone that has the most options. And especially with this higher tide, I think it's going to kind of flatten out that deep hole over on the side. And you watch this wedge energy moving right through the center of your screen. It kind of picks up more gusto as it moves along. And Shane Beschen, please prove me wrong. No, you're not gonna. Okay, 20 minutes and 45 seconds.
Time ticking away here. Getting down towards that 20-minute mark, and it's no nonsense from McCauley. He's found himself a little wedge, and here he goes. And he'll swing a nice snap high in the pocket. Did well to ride out of that. He had a bit of turbulence and a lot going on. And he kind of committed to the turn. He got a little bit away from his board. And he did really well just to compress back down. Still super fit. Let's have a look at the replay here, Ben.
Okay, we're watching that backwash work up the face right here. He navigates around it. What do you think? Do you think the judges will take it as complete? He stuck the nose out before kind of getting avalanched down behind it.
Well, it's just the one maneuver for him. Scores get a drop in shortly. Can it just extend the requirement for Beschen? Judges are having a think.
I think it's better than his 2.
Tends to make you think they think it's a completion. If it wasn't, they'd just throw up something. A low score straight away. So 19 and a half on the clock.
If it was complete, what do you think they're going to give him?
All right, well, it comes in as a 1-4-3.
Well, there you go. So it was not complete.
Doesn't change anything. And he's still in the lead. Time continuing to tick away. Beschen just keeping it super patient. You don't really have an opportunity other than being patient. There's no waves break. There's not a lot else you can do.
The only difference in this heat is Shane Beschen in his previous heats was bouncing around all over the whole lineup, finding rights, finding lefts, moving over to the right side, moving back over to the left side, and this time he's been kind of mellow.
McCauley likes the look of something here. He's not going to get on. You see the wobble go through it. And Beschen on the right-hander up the beach, or floater. Deals with that side step. And he's got a little section lining up on the inside. He's going to look to tag this when it gets steep enough. He finds himself some lip. A great hook from him. And another nice slash. And a good section on the end. I was quite surprised he didn't make that. And you just saw the power of that kind of wedge. But yeah, wow. Good wave. His best wave by far.
Yeah, I mean, he's now looking for a 4.84, but he did play it smart, keep patient, let this thing keep building up, and there is that occasional right. I think where he's sitting, he's better off picking off the rights than the lefts. That was the best turn, and he sets it up right as the wedge is just coming against him.
Yeah, that thing just exploded underneath his board. He looked like he was going to be able to get up and down before impact, but he doesn't complete on the last maneuver. Let's see how that translates in terms of score, but he got a vicious snap about midway through that wave, and then another little tag. It's definitely going to be his best effort so far. Let's see how it compares with the 6.33 from McCauley, and I think it's going to be game on, just in terms of...
I think at the very worst it could reduce his requirement. Top score was a 3.50, and put together a combination. That second score was much better than anything else he's done. So I think we're back into the game here.
Been pretty wave start this one. Not what we were hoping for. Love to see a lot more waves coming in, but that's the game in surfing. And that's just something else you've got to deal with. So score comes in as a 5, so does put him in the lead. And McCauley back in second now under that 17-minute mark. The requirement very low, just 2:17 for DMAC at the moment. Besham with a 5 and a 3.5. McCauley with a 16.3 and a 2.
So Dave McCauley with priority, only needing a 2.17. Pretty much guarantee that he's going to turn that around within the next minute or so. He's the wiriest, busiest guy out there on the lineup. And I like where he's sitting. He's got a lot of options. There's nothing that misses this part of the sandbar, so you can just keep picking him off right there. And I think it's about to happen right now. Let's get to that live action. Oh, nice drone view. Big carve, taps it back to the wash. Gets over this little step.
Ooh.
Gets the tail up there. And so I think he made his requirement off the first turn. He's not done. This is the Dave McCauley zone in here, is the end section where it gets that little reform, little stand up on the shallow section on the beach. And he always sticks it to it.
Here he goes, taking off on the wedge, just swooping around to set up here, puts himself nice back far behind so he gets steep, and a really well timed slap up in the lip, loads of spray for him, and a little off the soup on the inside. Nice hit there from Dave, and he'll definitely be improving on his 2. His requirement just a 2.17. 15.5 minutes to go in this one. Are we going to see another lead change? We will.
Of course we will.
Score comes in as a 7. And D-Mac, he's been unbelievable the way he surfed and competed through this event. And at the moment, he looks like carrying over that form. And he's asking a pretty decent question of Besham now. At the moment, 15.10. Besham needs 8.33.
Dave McCauley, basically no peaks or valleys throughout this competition. He's just steadily kept that same line, pulling him through all the way through. Has he won all of his heats? He has, hasn't he? He's got all of the points. Paul Evans, this is the last 15 minutes that I have to see your crazy facial expressions, leaving our poor listeners silent. And right now, Dave McCauley's got second priority. Shane Besham now needing an 8.33. And the problem is with Shane Besham's wave selection in this heat, it's kind of unlikely, but I'm not taking it away. I really want to see a fair game here. I want to see a good wave come through.
Well, he's repositioning, isn't he? He's heard those scores coming out, so he's moved back down. They're going to surf the same peak. They were on separate peaks before. Besham found that right-hander down there. I'm not quite sure that was really what he was looking at when he went down there. He got a 5, but he definitely needs more than that right now. So he's going to come and join D-Mac on the main peak. That is the view from the top of the cliff out here. Beautiful lineup in Santa Barbara. Fabio Gouveia, he's just recovering from his breakdancing performance last night. Just loving the final. It's been wicked to see him surfing. Unbelievably smooth. Smoothest person there for sure in terms of style and flow. And it's just been cool to see.
I think he was watching the video that I put up of him, and he didn't look very happy about it.
All right, well, at the moment, Dave McCauley looking really strong. He's got the bit between his teeth here, and he's chomping down hard. Besham, he's got a little bit to do. He does have time. Can he get this World Masters title? Find out in the next 13 minutes. We're going to be back with more live action from the Azores right after a short break.
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
O pai diz preservativo. A mãe diz pílula. Eu digo surpresa.
Eu digo.
O punk diz anarquia. O pop diz beat it. Eu digo let it be. Uns dizem isto, outros dizem aquilo. Eu digo arona. Novo Seat Arona. Do your thing.
Welcome back live, Azores Airlines World Masters. This is our last final of the day. It's the men's masters, the over 45s division. We've got two brand new world champions out here in the Azores. Layne Beachley in the women's masters, Rob Bain in the Grandmasters. Who's it going to be? Dave McCauley from Western Australia taking on Shane Beschen.
Well, I hate to say it, if Dave takes this one, Matt Hoy's buying the round of beers after this thing. And so right now, 11 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, and Dave McCauley, pretty much the smartest positioning throughout the first half of this heat, and now Shane Beschen's taking a sniff, and Shane has the pick of the pack. He's got the priority now, so if something does stretch on through and he puts on anything resembling the performance he has on his previous days, then things could get a little bit spicy.
All right, here he goes. He likes the look of this. I'm not sure he's going to get on it. Saw the drone view. That one just going a bit fat on him. Just staying away from Beschen. He's in second priority, so just maybe trying to find something on the inside and wide. That one not really doing it for him, but he'll certainly be buoyed in terms of confidence. With a 7 and a 6.33, he knows he's up against one of the surfers of the event, though. Beschen, very, very capable of going up into that excellent range.
Well, you know what? It's looking knee-high on a chipmunk. Just my size. I'm back out there in about 11 minutes right now. So I went from having probably the worst equipment that you could ever have in the Azores to having the best. And so that's what happens here. And luckily, it's dying out and fizzling out in our dying moments of this competition.
Well, speaking of equipment, mate, you've been checking out everyone's boards and stuff. Like, what's been some of the highlights for you in terms of, like, you know, a bit of variety in terms of the surf craft out here from our competitors?
I loved Hoyo's craft. The Steel Lewis Designs 6-channel. He had the little last 2 channels that run out the swallowtail faded out into a little flip V. So while we were thinking that he was just fighting something that wanted to go in a straight line, he had that little bit that gave him that little extra hook. Yesterday, I talked boards with Polly Menser for a while, and she was checking out Fabio Gouvea's shapes. And really, really nice crafts. Beautiful, beautiful edges, nice sanding. And there's one pink board that he brought, this kind of rounded pintail, a little more stretched out board. I think it was a 5.8. That looked really nice, and we never saw him break it out during the entire competition. So Fabio Gouvea brought some really, really nice crafts. Of course, he had his little gem, his little EPS stringerless hidden away, so no one could see what was taking him through the heats.
We've seen some different approaches as well. Shane Haran with the fins, Curran on the skimboard. Nice bit of variety out here, more than we'd expect it usually elite competition.
Pretty exciting. We also saw Hans Hedemann on this really cool kind of full nose round, almost kind of a Wayne Lynchish outline, and
almost like a fun shape.
It looked super fun to me, and so yeah, anything that brings you joy in the water is a fun board as far as I'm concerned.
All right, sets stacking out the back, 8:25 remaining. McCauley from Beschen at the moment.
This could be a moment of danger.
Here he goes, Shane Beschen tags a nice first backhand hit, and then again, board speed, knifing through these maneuvers. So 3 hits from Shane. He's definitely going to improve on what he's got already in the bank.
He's going to drop that requirement down to something a little more reasonable, as Dave McCauley just always, he can't help but take off on a wave, even if he doesn't need to.
Paddle battle, look at these two next to each other, and D-Mac just looked
Look at Shane just shaking his head like, just go ahead, Dave, jeez.
Beschen just not even vaguely interested.
I
McCauley,
love this.
McCauley in his face. Let's check out the replay of Beschen. Beautiful first turn.
All right, gets that nice hit there. You can see it flattened out a little bit more than he'd expected, but gets this hit, makes sure he gets down to that bottom transition and answering back. And then just hustling back out is Dave McCauley. Priority judges haven't deemed that he's outside just yet. We don't have that priority on the board, but it's clear that Dave McCauley is farther out, as Shane Beschen's just like, man, just go ahead, man. Just go get back out there. I'm going to hang out over here on the corner.
All right, so both of them finishing up pretty close to each other. Beginning, McCauley is maybe about half a yard closer to the lineup. He just took one look at Beschen. The outboard motor went, started kicking the legs, digging the arms in. Beschen not really up for the challenge, just went, you go for it, mate. Here we go, here's another shot of Shane's last wave. Judges deliberating it. It's going to be a really important exchange. A due score for each surfer. The requirement 833 to take first with a single wave for Shane Beshan. Judges are going to have a good think about this.
I'm saying the 6 to 7 range. What do you think? You usually don't play this game with me.
Okay, scores in for Macaulay. He gets a 7.43. So Macaulay's wave, bang.
6.33 for Shane Beshan.
Wow.
When did that 7.43?
This one
that
here,
was
we're watching
that
it.
one.
Yeah,
okay.
this was it. So this was the reply straight behind. And as if he didn't do enough on the scoreboard, he then went for the paddle battle. But look the way he's
That was a
stinging
lethal snap.
through the lip. Those two turns, a really nice combo. Judges rewarding it. And Macaulay just keeping the intensity super high. Just caught another wave as well. Used the priority. Here goes Beshan on a right. It almost looked like he was looking for a section to punt there for a minute, but that right-hander not very cooperative. When that wedge comes at you from the cliff, you're in all sorts of trouble as that thing comes at you. So Beshan, we are waiting for that last score. It's not going to be anything of major significance. He's improved. He's got 6.33 for that left-hander he rode just a minute ago. But right now, 5.30 to go. He's looking for an 8.1 bet.
Yeah, this is... I'm loving what Dave's doing here. And I have asked Bronte on a couple of her post-heat interviews, having your dad as a pro surfer, is he just drilling into you? Is he just bugging you constantly? And she said he just lets her do whatever she wants and doesn't really get involved with it. But you can see here, he's more concerned about his own surfing. I don't know if he even remembers that his daughter surfs. He's ripping so hard.
Yeah, absolutely nailing it out here, Dave Macaulay. He's competed so well, he's competed hard. And just not giving an inch to Beshan. Priority is for DMAC as well, which is going to help because we're under that 5-minute mark now. And Beshan's got a huge requirement at the moment. He needs to go excellent. Looking for an 8-1 to become, or to get the first place in this one. Our third world champion going to be crowned very shortly. Going to be one of these two.
I hate to say it at the moment, is we started out with better surf in the beginning of this. It's just gotten a higher tide, more wonks, and Dave Macaulay's best wave was a 7.43, and now Shane Beshan needs something better than that. And it's looking like this could be really, oh man, I thought he was going to go left. So he's opted for the right here, covering some space. Now he's got some chance to turn it up. This is where you get that little dead section. If you power across it, you're going to have that oncoming wedge. We saw it kind of eat him up on the end section before. He's still linking it up. And the wedge just became a little bit more powerful than the oncoming wave.
Beshan on a long right-hander. Took the swing all the way through, down to the corner. Streaking across mid-face. Looking for sections to stand up. That was
I really thought he was going to go left.
That's a really nice swoop down, carving turn. And he had to wait again to get another opportunity.
5.87.
5.87 comes in. It does go in his top two, but it doesn't change his requirement because all he did was replace his backup. So he still needs an 8.1. The only thing of any difference is the fact that it ate up a couple more minutes. And we're down to that 3-minute mark now. He's in a bit of trouble here.
I think if he's going to get the score, it's going to be on the left. So I don't know why I'm sitting here just coaching Shane Beshan through this entire heat. He's probably going to punch me out when he gets out of the water. No, he's a very mellow, cool guy. But yeah, it's he's been a little bit off of his game. We saw that with Shane Horan as well. He's been just had that kind of cosmic connection with the ocean. Shane in his previous heats had always found all of the energy, and these little wonky rights just aren't giving him the high scores.
Yeah, he's gone for the right-hand option. It's been a tricky place to get scores. He would have got something really healthy. Could he have nailed that? But pretty much impossible, that side wedge coming at you. Macaulay with a slopier takeoff section, and then found a nice little lip to clock on the inside. And basically the judges enjoying that vertical surfing in the lip rather than kind of snaps next to or in front of it. Just really like it seeing the surfers take it straight up to the top of the wave, take on the section, and he's done that pretty much all heat long, built up a head of steam. And this one he just drilled all the way through to the sand. just absolutely giving it everything.
When you think of the factor of speed and flow reflecting on the scores, I think Shane Beshen's choice of those rights with those flat sections, it's just not satisfying the attention deficit disorder of the judges. And Dave McCauley, more top to bottom, just keeping that rhythm and keeping the entertainment factor high.
90 seconds to go in this one. It's McCauley with priority with the lead. Beshen looking for an 8.1. And he needs something to happen here and happen very, very soon. It's not been his final. It's kind of looked like he switched to plan B. Plan A was out the front. Then he went up into the corner. Didn't really get what he wanted. Came back with just a 5. And at the mo, he's chasing and he's still looking for something. It looks like maybe.
Look how cool and collected Shane is. He's just like, man, I think you got it, Dave. And the ocean goes silent. So it looks like we're going to have an all-Australia Masters. And Bainey's still looking at his buddy. There's only 30 seconds left. He still feels that there's something that could happen. He's not taking his eyes off the lineup.
All right, well, nice little congratulations at the end. And Beshen is going to come away with the runners-up here. But it's all about Dave McCauley. He's going to be the world champion in the Masters division in the men's. And it's been an incredible week of surfing for him. He's looked awesome all the way through his heats, and he's got the job done. Taken out a final. Again, you'd probably call that an upset, just in terms of form out in this one. And McCauley, he's worked hard for this, and he deserves it all, Ben.
He worked harder than anyone, spent more time in the water, and was just stayed connected with the ocean the entire time. And well, couldn't have happened to a better guy. Dave McCauley, there we have our Masters World Champion. Everyone's charged.
Já a seguir vamos ter a cerimónia de premiação aqui ao lado do resort.
I'm loving this. So much emotion down on the beach, and man, such a big connection between all of these surfers, and it's just such a different scene from what you see in the QSs these days. It's just, these guys have a lifetime of surfing together, and that friendship doesn't grow any weaker. Look at this.
All right, so great scenes down here on the beach. Some of the all-time legends of the sport. And Dave McCauley, well, he's going home with a world title trophy along with Layne Beachley and with Rob Bain, who's just on the beach there. You see it on shot. There's D-Mac making his way in, and he's ripped all week, sticking with the left-handers, and it's absolutely paid off. He's stuck to his game plan out there. Yeah, just drilled it home. Some real nice manoeuvres in the lip. Kind of, in terms of waves, not the greatest final. In terms of opportunity, D-Mac just absolutely making sure when anything came through, it was his. And a very well-deserved world champion. And he's going to come in and get his congratulations from everyone on the beach and just soak it all up. He's a world champion.
I want to know how many orders he has stacked up on his desk at home. He's going to be shaping a bunch of boards because he's shown how well his equipment works throughout this entire event. And what an exciting ride here. I can't wait to hear what he has to say, and I really hope Binzi asks him what he's been listening to before his heats, because that's going to be my new pre-surf song.
All right, well, Binzi is down there. Let's see if we can get a word from our freshest world champ.
I'm down here with world champion Dave McCauley.
Oh, those words sound sweet, Binzi. I never dreamed this would happen. Oh.
And you're travelling with your good mate Rob Bain, and he just took one out as well on his birthday.
Yeah, we totally forgot. He told us a million times it was his birthday today, and me and Mal, super coach Mal Hardy, we both forgot until he mentioned it after he won. So, you know, I was so stoked for Bainey, but I couldn't get too in the emotion of it, you know what I mean, because I had a heat in half an hour. So, no, just it's been an unbelievable week. We've had an absolute ball. I mean, the people here in Azores are so friendly and it's such a beautiful place. I mean, I'd come back here for a holiday any day, and yeah, to win that is sort of like it's phenomenal. I feel like the Western Bulldogs a couple of years ago, coming from 8th place and ending up on top. So it's just, yeah, haven't got the words, Binsy.
And as the eldest in the division, is a little bit sweeter beating some of these Groms?
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, like Jake Paddo, him and I had as I said to you before, we had a man on Mount Heat in 1990 when he was 17. He was a grommet, and then I sort of turned the tables as the old grommet this time. But I mean, those guys, Jake and Shane and Luke, you know, they dominated the event, and I kind of snuck into the 8, and then yeah, so it's pretty crazy.
Well, Sonny Garcia was saying the other day he thinks you're surfing better now than when you're on tour.
Yeah, I did hear that, and I imagine Sonny doesn't, you know, give away compliments too easily. So cheers, Sonny. I'm pretty wrapped with that. I've had a very fortunate life. I've been able to keep surfing after the tour a lot, and you know, all my kids surf, and you know, it's just insane. My kids are watching. How you going? I love yous all. My wife's just about to land in Edinburgh, and she won't know. So, well.
She'll be pretty happy when she finds out. And Bronte now has to listen to it a little bit more before her heats, eh?
Yeah, well, I feel like I've got a bit more empathy now, you know, for competing, because I hadn't competed for like 10 years. And my first heat, I was nervous, and I was thinking, oh yeah, far out, this is what Bronte must feel like all the time. And, you know, so I got a bit more empathy. But no, I just can't believe it. It's just, pinch me, would you? I just cannot believe this. Yeah.
With pleasure. Well, mate, it's been a real privilege seeing all you guys in action this week, and I can't wait to get up on the stage with you and see you hoist the trophy.
Thanks, Binsy. Been loving it here. It's just been a phenomenal week. Incredible place. Just, I can't wait for the next Masters. I'm in the Grandmasters next time, unless they change the age division.
Next time, Bainey's got the target on his back. You're going to take him out?
I know. I don't know how that's going to work, me and Bainey hanging together, but, you know, it's just been a blast, absolute blast. Super coach Mel Hardy and Bainey, we've done every single thing together, and every meal, everything. So I couldn't ask for more, absolutely, not at all.
All right, well, congratulations again, mate, and we'll see you up on the podium soon.
Cheers. Thanks, Ben.
Back up to you guys in the box.
All right, well done, Dave McCauley. Congratulations. Seeing the emotion on his face there, as he is a world champion in the Masters division, and he touched upon it. Probably wasn't the favourite in terms of looking at the form this week. Egan Besham, Jake Patterson, they're kind of like the outstanding surfers in terms of performances and points. Just quietly, he's just been keeping it really strong himself, even for the final though. Despite how strong he's looked all week, you're probably thinking Besham's just got the surfing to get past him, but he didn't really get the opportunity. It's all about just surfing whatever the ocean can throw up, and McCauley there just nailed it in the final, and he's a world champ, so that makes it an all Aussie sweep.
We need to get up to
for these
pretty quick, apparently.
titles. Beachley, the Women's Masters champion, and Rob Bain in the Grandmasters, the over 55s division. They're going to make their way back up to the podium. We're going to reflect on an incredible week we've had out here. It's been a while for Masters. There's been a lot of feedback. People have been really enjoying seeing some of the legends of the sport, some of the great characters from kind of a bygone era where webcasting wasn't such a thing. You had to get your content, your surf stoke in different ways. Wait, you know, for that day of the month when the mags came out. You'd be going out to the surf shop, buy VHS.
Be lucky to get like 2 or 3 the top highlight shots from the comp and have to read through it.
Yeah, and
that was when people could actually read.
So it's been super cool hearing these guys and women's their thoughts, as well as seeing their surfing, and just buzzing off the vibes as well. The old camaraderies, the old rivalries flaring up. We saw a real good bit of intensity from Bain and Haran in the Grandmasters first thing this morning. That little paddle battle at the beginning, no one giving an inch. It's great to see how much they all still care.
Those boards look so nice. So D-Mac surfboards, look him up on Instagram and on the web and put your order in now. He's shown how well those boards work. And so we're going to take a small commercial break, and we're going to be working our way back to the podium with this guy in just a few minutes. That is your World Masters champion.
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
Neste regresso às aulas, trouxemos a sabedoria à escola. Desculpem, a Sophie.
Olá, Saturno.
Quem é que oferece 2 anos de aula digital, 2 gigas por mês de net num tablet 4G?
Eu.
Pensei que os robôs eram especialistas em matemática.
Tablet 4G Huawei com oferta de 2 anos de aula digital e 2 GB mês de net móvel para estudar em qualquer lugar. Tudo por apenas 7,99€ mês. Mel, humaniza-te.
Just still buzzing on the beach down here at Santa Barbara. Azores Airlines World Masters coming to a close this morning. It's midday local time out here. We got 3 new world champs. We're going to have the podium presentation coming up for you very shortly. Just crowning off an epic week of surfing. It's been quite a while between our last Masters. 7-year break. And no shortage of competitive desire. We talked about, we've heard some of these legends just talking about how much training they've been doing and the preparation, what they've been putting into it means so much to them. We've had some pretty epic feedback online in terms of comments.
What kind of preparation were you doing for this thing?
Just early nights, mate.
Buying a bunch of sesame tahini, finding out where the best avocados on the island were. Well, I want to hear.
Tried to get into the vegetarian restaurant last night, fully booked, man. So that just tells all you need to know, really, doesn't it?
There's yeah, I wonder if there'll be more vegetarian restaurants just opened up for you when we come back next year. And I want to know how long we're going to have to wait to see these guys in the water again. I think 7 years is just a little bit ridiculous. Can we not get another World Masters Championship within the next 2 years or so?
It's going to be interesting to see. Everyone's been talking how much they want to come back, do this again. Maybe every year, every couple of years seems pretty good to me in terms of Masters. But there's been a lot of desire out there and a lot of good feedback from fans, people stoking on seeing some of their heroes from a bygone era still ripping. It's pretty inspiring to see how surfing as a healthy lifestyle, just keeping everyone super stoked, keeping everyone young.
After this competition, it's a whole new era, actually. It's not. I'm not going to say bygone.
Yeah, we're going to be flying tonight over to Lisbon on the mainland. We've got QS coming up in Ericeira, 10,000, so a huge qualifying event in the context of getting on CT next year. There's a call for that tomorrow morning, so surf fans, if you like watching webcasts.
Sure would have loved to join you there.
Yeah.
Darn it. So Ben Waite definitely is going to take a back seat as far as who goes into the booth. And you guys will have Peter Mell as well as Aki in there. And the forecast is looking amazing as far as the swell goes in Ericeira.
We're going to be at Ribeira Dilhaz. That's the right-hand point break. And an epic wave for a competition. Great setup there on the beach. And really good. We've had a couple of years of World Juniors there a couple of years back.
Good luck free surfing at that one.
There's plenty of waves in Ericeira. All kinds of waves up and down that coast. Different reefs and
beaches. At the contest site. So we're going to have some frothing competitors just viciously battling around. And so, as we look out on the ocean, this place pretty much harnessed enough energy for this entire competition. And just as it's over, things can kind of relax for old King Neptune. There's still some wedges out there. And I will be out there in a couple minutes. But we're going to see some highlights from what happened throughout this beautiful competition. Someone's getting my wedge right there. Who's that on that wedge on the inside? I'm going to be paddle battling him in just a couple moments. So this is the beautiful beach with that big catcher's bluff out on the left side. It's okay, so it's highlights of the day, obviously. Shane Horan, that was such a good one.
Bainey taking it to the lip on the inside section and getting it done. And he was just fired up from the start. Horan completely out of rhythm. He said he was rattled mentally as well. A couple of those injuries just in the back of his mind, on the forefront of his mind, and could never really quite get the connection and the rhythm of the ocean that Rob Bain had. We saw that reflected in the scores. It was Bainey that took this one out with surfing just like this. You see him flying down the line, using the repertoire, going into that big floater and then a big old hack and tagging it again. So really nice combinations of maneuvers. Haran just trying to answer back, but just couldn't find the rhythm. Bain just flying. And once he got his nose in front, he smelt blood. Just got him more and more fired up. Just getting longer waves, tagging it, belting it to the inside. Rob Bain is your Grandmasters World Champion.
I was hoping we were going to see the nose ride. I was just waiting for that. And so just enough wax on that nose for one big toe, and now it's healed.
Beachley had to come from behind in this one. Ballard posted the score early on. Beachley replied with this. Really strong surfing from the 7-time world champ. Did so well to finish off. Just vital that she nailed that. Posted up a score and put Ballard back on the back foot. Rochelle tried to answer back. Just got a little bit out of sorts in terms of her positioning in the lineup.
All right, and here we have Layne Beachley up from above, hooking this one, and just sticks it together as that wedge comes and tries to get the better part of her. And here she goes to the inside, still linking it up. And what else have we got? And already on our point screen, we're seeing some of the first heats for the Ericeta contest. The draws are already on. That's going to be exciting.
Beachley just chaired up the beach, flying the Australian flag. Super stoked on a big win for her. Pam Burridge, of course, former world champ there as well. It's been awesome seeing her out here this week, as with all of the other legends. And this was the Masters final. Macaulay just took it to Beshan. Just applying the pressure on the rail and tagging the lip. Just loving the way, just stayed super focused throughout the heat, but just didn't focus throughout his rides, all the way to the sand, putting every last drop of energy into it.
That's all he's done this entire competition. He's just been full on, like, max volume throughout every heat. I love how he hit that thing and just took the lip off that one. And here was Beshan answering back. He got that quick hit. This is that one early on that he was just hoping that it would stand up, and it never really did, unfortunately. And Dave McCauley frothing out to get another one. He gets this nice hit here. Just vicious hit on that second one.
I think that was the most impressive wave because it wasn't actually the greatest wave. I thought his previous wave was better than that. That wave looked soft, and he absolutely belted it and got his highest score.
Go ahead, say he spanked its bum.
He really
you haven't
did.
said that in a while.
He pulled his pants down and spanked its bum.
Oh, goodness.
Didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
He spanked it bare bottomed, and he absolutely laid into that in Beshan's face. Beshan went down the beach looking for the right-hander, but it just wouldn't cooperate for him. It was a nice hook, but here the wave goes fat, and this is what cost him as he waits for it to stand up. And if he could have just got a section, he would have sent it. It wasn't to be. The right-handers weren't really bringing the point scoring opportunity, and it was Macaulay who took it out by just belting a series of left-handers. That's what he's done all week. That's what he kept doing. The plan was working. Didn't need to change it. He's done the same for the final. He's absolutely nailed it. So an all-Aussie clean sweep. Beachley, Macaulay, Bain. It's been a pretty good week for the Aussies in the Azores.
It's been a darn good week. And you know, that's just... Okay. So just as we're about to speak, we get audio in our ear frothing us up. But I remember what I was talking about. Remember in the 80s, it seemed like the Aussies were the ones to beat, and now we're kind of, the Brazil's the ones to beat. We've got these little generations of different countries kind of taking over. In their generation, the Aussies were pretty much ruling it, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. And they've been dominant out here this week. for sure. Travelling together, coaching each other, just psyching, having a good time. But you did get the impression that today, finals day, some of that good-natured camaraderie would just sort of take a little bit of a backseat, and would go back and see more of that old school passion and more of that kind of game face from everyone.
So these guys are lined up right in front of the beautiful, delicious restaurant that they have here at the Santa Barbara Echo Surf Resort. And, well, everyone's looking very cheerful, and that is our setup here. Look at all these beautiful, classy bungalows that they've got set up just up on top of the bluff. If you ever have the chance to come to Portugal, take a little spin out on Azores Airlines to this beautiful spot, and you're going to get waves, you're going to get delicious food, wonderful weather, and a million sights to see. You guys went to the hot springs yesterday without me. Smelled the car up of sulfur.
Yeah, got the mud packs on, dude.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's why your skin looks so supple today.
Yeah, rubbed ourselves up with a bit of mud.
Lovely.
And 39 degrees in the pools, so nice and warm. Just had a little soak there. Actually started hammering down with rain, which is pretty cool to be in the hot spring with the rain lashing down.
Man, Jamie Brisick's a tall character. He's a very, very cool guy. That's Jamie back in the green. And Richo.
Just a little bit quick word about the Azores and this trip over here, and this nice prize for a 360 carving.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate all the champions. And the Azores, yes, very special and a real pleasure and privilege to be here amongst all these other world champions. I don't know how many there is all in total, but I feel like that everyone is a champion just being here, and it was a pleasure watching everyone surf, and hopefully one day we can come back and do it all over again. And next time I'll try and ride this and see if we can do a couple of 360s.
Please do.
Thank you.
All right. Muito obrigado, Pedro. Muito obrigado, Richo. Vou então agora passar o resto da cerimónia de entrega de prémios.
All right, so Richo back to us in the booth, catching us off guard. Look at me slouching. I'm just waiting for the action.
Hey, sit up straight, please. Pay attention.
I'm sorry. I need better posture.
Looking forward to this.
I used to get yelled at about that all the time. Stop slouching on your dress. And so, looks like Binzi's going to start things up. Let's get down to the beach and see what's happening down there.
What a fantastic week we've all had here. The performances from the surfers have been nothing short of fantastic, and possibly even a little bit surprising. Some guys we hadn't heard of for a long time came out, and some of them have even claimed they're surfing better than they did when they were back on the tour the first time. The Azores, incredible place. I think everyone, the competitors, all of the staff on the event, we've just loved the place, and we're all going to hang around and check out as much of it as we can. The hot springs are beautiful, the coastline's stunning, and the hospitality that we've all received has been fantastic as well. So big thanks to all of the local folk, especially for handing over your waves as well. We've had a great time in the water. Everyone surfed their brains out this week, and I think I speak for everyone involved in the event when we all hope that we can come back here again one day. The competitors, we cannot thank you guys enough just for everything you've done this week. Your performances in the water have been as legendary as ever. Your performances on land have been, they've played the part that we hoped they would, and the story time has been great, and it's just been fantastic. Everything that you've done in catching up and giving your time back to the sport that's given you all so much as well. There were so many goosebump moments throughout the week, and just personally getting to interview so many of you after your heats has been a lifetime highlight. I know all the surf fans out there have really engaged with this event a lot. It's just fantastic to really reunite the tribe. This is almost like the council elders have come together to sort of show the world how it should be done. So it's been fantastic on that front. The performances have been brilliant. Guys from like Shane Bestian, Jake Patterson, Luke Egan, Dave McCauley, Fabio Gavea, all ripping in the Masters division, and then in the Grandmasters, obviously the winner Rob Bain and some of the others have just been flying from start to finish. Great to see Simon Anderson and Shane Horan up towards the pointy end as well. And in the ladies' side, firstly, just fantastic to have you all here for the first time, and we hope that continues as the event does long into the future. And you've all been ripping as well, so thanks to everyone from Pauline to Farida and Pam and beyond. It's been great. Everyone, the fans, both here at the event and online, it's been just an awesome experience, and your engagement has been really a key part of this event. I know a lot of the surfers have been just getting so much feedback on the social media front and just engaging so heavily with all of the sports fans out there, and hopefully, you know, it sort of drives these guys to perform even better into the future at more of these World Masters events. So now if I can invite some of the dignitaries onto the stage who will be handing over the trophies. From the City Council of Ribeira Grande, Philippe George. For the Azores, Secretary of Tourism and Ambience, Marta Guerrero. And on behalf of SEAT Portugal, Teresa Lameras. All right, so we're not far off getting you guys to hand out the trophies, but first, thanks to our major event sponsors, the Tourism of Azores, and our other partners, the Azores Airlines, for getting us all out here, SEAT for the cars, Meow and Santa Barbara Eco Resort. Rodrigo and your team have gone above and beyond for us this week, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Massive special thanks to the local community and the surfers who've shared this fantastic part of the world with us, and we can't wait to get back here again into the future. All right. Now to the fun part of the event. Let's talk about the Grandmasters. It was just a great event to be a part of from start to finish. You guys just surfed phenomenally, and on the final day there could only be 2 men left standing, and in second place for the Grandmasters, Shane Horan from Australia. I'm sure you won't mind having a chat.
Oh, sure, I'm used to having a chat.
All right, tell us just about the week and how great it is to finish up on the podium at the end of it.
It's been an amazing time. Just to be with everybody is just really special. I think we're all winners here, and I think beyond that, just the camaraderie we have as a unit of surfers is just beyond. And can I just say, muito obrigado, Azorean people, pessoas. Nós aqui, praia, surf, você ondas, and obrigado for letting us surf here for the week. It's muito feliz. Nós muito feliz, so obrigado.
Beautifully done, mate. Still got it on land and in the water. Unfortunate loss to Rob Bain. You guys have got a lot of history. Tell us a bit about your relationship.
Robbie and I have been friends since we were, Robbie was 13, I was 15. We're on a skateboard team, and I was right into surfing and skating. So we've had a major rivalry since day dot. And in that heat, it was just hammer and tongs, man. It was like we weren't giving each other an inch. It was fantastic. And, once we get on the beach, it's all brotherly love.
Awesome. All right, well,
I'd like to say congratulations to all the champions. It was so good to watch you guys win today. And Robbie Bain winning your first world title, mate. Well deserved. It's good that you can win it now in the Masters. You deserve one when you're on the tour, but to get one today, congrats, mate. Champion.
All right, so our runner-up, Shane Horan, everyone. Well, you've let the cat out of the bag. There is, of course, only one winner, and it's the man himself, Big Bad Bob Bain. All right, Rob, let's have a chat, mate. Happy birthday, first and foremost, and not a bad way to ice the cake.
Yeah, it is my birthday. I tried not to think about it all week, but it was difficult. 29 years ago, I came to Portugal, to Ericeira with my girlfriend at the time. Obviously now she's my wife and the mother of my 3 children. I made my way to the final in that event, and I surfed against Mr. X, Glenn Winton. So what a joy it was to surf with Glenn here at the event, and you know, as Shane says, we've been competitors and friends for a long time, and it was also my birthday 29 years ago when I won the event in Irasira, so it's pretty incredible to be standing here right now.
Isn't it? We might just upgrade your trophy from second to first. There you go. The number one, there it is. Tell us a little bit about this week and just what a great time everyone's had.
Yeah, it goes deeper than being a sport or a surfing competition. It's about camaraderie. It's about the stories and the experiences that we've all shared, because outside of, you know, competing and surfing, which is one thing, there's moments that we all have, you know, some of us have been through tsunamis, some of us have been through incredible accidents, some of us have had, you know, a lot of adversity in our life.
That's just you.
Yeah, but yeah, everyone's, you know, done a lot of things. So it's, you know, there's just this real, you can just, it's palpable. You can feel it. You know, we're connected, and I think surfing is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, and for me, it's been a medicine throughout my life. It's given me escapism and joy and hardship at times, but I'm going to do it until I drop. So, and you know, I love being here. So I just wanted to say thanks to the Azores people. What an amazing island, and I really would love the opportunity to come back. And to Mel Hardy, super coach, to Dave McCauley, who we haven't broken our program all week. It's been epic. I couldn't be any more happier than to see Dave get that title, and yeah, just an awesome week. Thanks very much. Obrigado.
Thank you very much. Your 2018 World Masters champion, Rob Bain. Three cheers for Rob Bain. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Just hang out on stage for a second. Yep, after we're done with awarding all of the trophies, we'll get all of the winners back up on the stage for a champagne moment and some photos. Now onto the women's. Their first time competing in the World Masters Championship, and I think everyone would agree that it's just been awesome to have them involved. We've seen some great performances from Frida Zamba and Jodie Cooper, but into the final day there was two ladies, and in second place, Rochelle Ballard. Rochelle, congratulations on making the final.
Thank you. Yeah, super happy to be here, and it's always great to be in a final. So, you know, I mean, it's a beautiful day, and it's Sunday Fun Day, so we all get to have fun together, right?
Tell us about the heat with Layne. You started off down the beach and got in her head a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the thing about this wave is it's all over the place, and so you really have to, like, pick a bit of a game strategy, and then you have to go with whatever the waves decide to do, because it's shifting, and all of a sudden it'll be consistent on one side and shift. And I really was looking at that, like, you know, far corner, seeing some good ones, and then it just stopped. And I was like, well, she's got a score, and I need a score, and I've got priority. So I better get over there and see what I can do with it. And not much really materialized. So, you know, I mean, for me, like, it's always important to, like, have, like, a good performance, you know, and to get some good surfing done. Of course, it's, like, always great to get a win. So, you know, I would have loved to have performed a little bit more, but, you know, I mean, I'm just glad that we had waves at this contest. It's been sunny and offshore almost every day, and we're just having a good time together. And, you know, great to catch up with all of our old friends. And just, you know, like Bainey said, it's like the experiences that we have and that camaraderie, and, you know, nothing can take the place of that. And they're memories that have, like, paved the way for the current day in surfing for both men and women. And for us to be able to all share this time together is just really special. So, you know, mahalo ke akua, as we say in Hawaii, thanks to God, and just to all of you for supporting it and showing up, and for, you know, my sponsors just helping me. Just, it's always great to get good boards still. And, you know, just to you guys. So thank you. Thanks for the event and everybody that supported it, and Rodrigo, and, you know, to all the champions, and, you know, just great surfing, everybody. So thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle Ballard. Second place, the 2018 World Masters champions. All right, moving on to the men's masters. Just kidding, Layne. So we are now moving on to a lady who has been up on this stage more than any other. Your 2018 World Women's Masters champion from Sydney, Australia, Layne Beachley. Layne, congratulations.
I drop in on you on one wave and then you pretend I don't exist. So. Is that all it takes? Just one wave? Thank you. Thanks, Pizzy. It's everyone that has spoken before has really said it all. It's been such an amazing week, and I'm so grateful to the Azorean people, to the locals that gave up their favourite surf spot for the week to allow us to go out there. I congratulate Rochelle and all the women that showed up to this event. I'm really grateful for the WSL for recognising and celebrating the history of the sport. There's been some remarkable pioneers throughout the years, and to have the opportunity to come all the way here to surf with our friends and catch up with our friends, it's like reconvening a family at Christmas. So it's been a really good fun week.
And you've obviously got some thanks to give out to your friends and family.
Well, I'd actually like to thank my darling husband for coming all this way, because, you know, he's a rock star, not a surfer. So thank you, Kirk, for... Yes, we all love In Excess, right? And I'd like to thank Rochelle's family. You know, it's been a real treat to hang out with Rochelle this week and hang out with her excellent caddy Anthony and her wonderful family, Laurie and Ronnie. So, you know, it's been Sunday fun day all week, and it's been I think I said to Rochelle after I won, you know, I think the highlight of this week has actually just been hanging out with Rochelle and hanging out with the girls and just celebrating everything that's occurred throughout our 20-year history together. And it's been a remarkable week. As I said, I'm grateful for the WSL for bringing us together, and I congratulate all the surfers that made the effort to be here. And congratulations to Bainey, and congratulations to Macca too. You guys have put on a tremendous show, and you continue to inspire me daily. So thank you.
Yeah, Layne, you're no stranger to the podium, but it must be great to be joined by a fellow Queenscliff Board Riders Club member in Rob Bain up here finally.
Yeah, and congratulations on having a win on your birthday too, Benny. That's awesome. So we're taking these trophies back to Manly, back to QBC, and we'll be celebrating back at home. But it's always nice to have a win, but as Rochelle said, it's actually more important for us to perform well and to perform up to our own standards and our own expectations. And I feel like we did that today, and I look forward to wherever the Masters is next year is coming back and having another crack at it.
All right, well, we've loved your performances this week. Everyone, your 2018 champion, Layne Beachley. And on to the final division, the Azores Airlines World Masters Championship. And coming in second place from California, Shane Beshin. Shane Beshin, congratulations, mate.
Thanks.
Run us through your feelings on the final day.
I definitely didn't have my best performance today, so that was not the best thing, but just being on the list to even come here and get invited here was definitely a big honor. I felt weird even, being invited, just looking at all the names on the list, so it's definitely an honor to be included in there, and yeah, it's been great, just seeing everyone and surfing all week, and the people have been really great. Thank you to all the people from the Azores and Portugal that came out to watch. It's been really fun. And yeah, actually one of the people here has standed out to me a lot during this event, and it's the contest director, Rodrigo. And I just wanted to present him with this surfboard for being such a good contest director.
Yeah, get up here, Rodrigo.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Rodrigo.
Thank you.
He did a great job, and we need more contest directors like him who understand all things that are happening within the event, and making it really good for the surfers and the fans. And yeah, it's been a great time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Shane Beshin. We've loved your performances this week, and a great gesture at the end there as well. Just one last question, highlight of the week. You've been ripping, you got a surfing heat against Tom Curran. What else was good?
Yeah, first heat against Tom Curran, I was begging him to ride a normal board instead of a skim board, so but he didn't want to. But I would have loved for him to ride a normal board and had it been more of a battle. And then buzzer beater against Luke, I think it was yesterday, was pretty cool. So.
Awesome. Well, enjoy it, mate. We've enjoyed having you here this week.
All right.
And on to the last trophy of the day. The winner of the Masters Division, the Azores Airlines World Masters Championship for 2018. It's been a long time coming. He's the oldest in his field, but he was one of the standout performers throughout the week. Top of the podium, Dave McCauley. Well, Dave, congratulations, and yep, keep the sponsors happy. The T-Mac surfboards look like they're going all right this week, mate.
Thanks a lot, Binzi. Yeah, it's just been a phenomenal week, and it's like I said to you before, it's a dream, and someone's going to pinch me and I'll wake up and this didn't actually happen.
Bainey was just talking before about the connection that all the surfers have. Something that wouldn't have existed when you guys were back on tour was all the social media. Have you guys been blown away by all the support that you've been getting online this time around?
Yeah, so stoked that the event has had so much viewing action, and hopefully there'll be another one of these in a couple of years, but I'm really wrapped. But Binzi, I actually, believe it or not, I made a little speech last night just in case.
By all means.
Is that all right?
Of course.
Well, firstly, thanks so much to Azores Airlines, the sponsor of this event. It's been just phenomenal. I've enjoyed every single moment, and without Azores Airlines, we wouldn't be here at all. So thanks to Azores. Thanks to the WSL, of course, for thinking about us guys and girls, and it's just been, as I said, an awesome week. Also to the people of Azores, so friendly. For example, Claudio, the beach marshal, he has been so friendly, and that sort of is like an exhibition of the people of Azores. So thanks, Claudio. Rodrigo, that was such a nice thing you did, Shane, and it's so perfect because Rodrigo, he had our backs the whole week. So good on you, Rodrigo. And also some of the people behind the scenes, like Al Hunt. Good on you, Al. Had a bit of a tough moment earlier in the week, but came through. Rob Gunning, Nico, Philippe, and also Meg Bernardo from WSL. Thanks for the judges who did a great job. They're normally judging CT surfers and QS surfers, so I hope you enjoyed the old guys. All the competitors and finalists, congrats to Shane and to all the competitors, so great work. Sorry, I hope this is not too long. I want to take the opportunity to thank my wife of 33 years who's just getting off the plane in Scotland. I'm going to meet her tomorrow night, so she's just going to get the news and be pretty pumped. And I also want to thank my kids, Ellie, Laura, Bronte and Jack, who they're watching online, and I love you guys and can't wait to hang out with you. My parents, Jan and Bruce, thank you for the sacrifices that you made to allow me to be here now. And my parents-in-law, Sandy and Warren. I hope this is not dragging out too long, Binzi, but they've done so much for us as well. Exactly, it's been 30 years or something. Also some families that help us around the world. We've got in California, the Wilsons, we get to stay right at Shane's old beach at San Clemente. Thanks guys, love you guys. The Laws on the East Coast, as well as the Cliffos and the Crams. As I mentioned, the Beach Marshal Claudio, what a legend. And my sponsors that have still given me gear, Creatures of Leisure and Quicksilver. Michelle Hardy, who loaned me her husband, the super coach, Mal Hardy, for a week. He's 2 from 2, and I think I'm going to probably get the sack from Bronte, and then she's going to take him. For Bainey and myself, Bainey, mate, you're an absolute legend. It was just a pleasure to be here for this week with yourself and Mal. It's been an absolute ball. The super coach, Mal Hardy, mate, we did it. Can't believe it. Sorry, that was a bit long.
Mate, it's been a long time coming. I think you're allowed to have the mic. We're going to invite all of the winners up onto the stage, all the finalists back up onto the stage, and we might get cracking with some of these bottles of champagne. I think you've all earned it. if all the finalists can get back up on the stage, and if everyone can ready their cameras and their various devices. Where are you, Shane, Layne, Rochelle? Absolutely. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh dear, this is about to get messy. All right, everyone, your 2018 Azores Airlines World Masters Championships finalists, and all your winners. Let's make some noise as they congratulate each other. Seven winners out the front. This might taste pretty sweet, eh, Bainey? Let the festivities begin! All right, so as things get messy up here on stage, that is the end of the 2018 Azores Airlines World Masters Championship. To all the fans here at the event and back home online, we hope you've had as much fun as we have, because it's been a great event, and we hope that it keeps going long into the future. Normally I'd throw it back to the studio, but the other two commentators have already gone surfing, so this is me wrapping it up from the Azores Islands for the 2018 Azores Airlines World Masters Championships. See you next year!
The Azores, an archipelago of discoveries in a sea of adventures.
Neste regresso às aulas, trouxemos a sabedoria à escola. Desculpem, a Sophie.
Olá, Saturno.
Quem é que oferece 2 anos de aula digital, 2 gigas por mês de net num tablet 4G?
Eu.
Pensei que os robôs eram especialistas em matemática.
Tablet 4G Huawei com oferta de 2 anos de aula digital e 2 gigas mês de net móvel para estudar em qualquer lugar. Tudo por apenas 7,99€ mês. Mel, humaniza-te.